Oh, and we're live. I don't have the fancy thing that Craig has where you can
No,
count it down for 30
you can
seconds.
get it though. It's in StreamYard Basic.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. It's okay. we're we're doing the casual thing tonight. It doesn't matter.
it's not going to stop me from
Casual.
saying good day, everybody.
Oh yeah, no, well.
Good day,
That's just
everybody. I'm
that
nibbling
is you
on
being casual.
nibbling on wine gums because my wife left them in her office, and they're here, so I'm gonna eat them.
Oh.
So otherwise, how are you?
Yeah, living the dream, buddy. Living the dream. Ah. I was thinking we would go on Twitch and then I changed my mind because I don't know if they have rules about drinking and swearing
I don't know.
and
It's a good
nudity.
question.
No, yeah, as long as you're in a hot tub, you can be practically nude on Twitch, right?
Just drink it in a mug, and they
I,
won't know.
I have a mug, a barefaced mug.
Yeah, but it's clear. You can see it. Oh, no, it's not the mug.
No. It's actually right over here.
Nice.
It's not bad, right?
Did they send you? Is that like swag for buying a 40 or what is that?
No, it was promotional. Came on the bottle. That was a while ago. It's very
Nice.
cool. It's very cool. Um,
So
yeah,
when I looked at the YouTubes, it said we have two people watching. So that's probably me and you.
yeah. The number bounced around a little. Like people went and looked and were like, "No, fuck these guys. Forget it. Tim Pool's on."
That's probably exactly what they said.
Mm.
Fuck these guys.
Oh, yeah. See, look, it's up again.
That's because
So
I'm watching on my Roku here, not signed in. So now there's three people technically watching.
you're just trying to falsely inflate the numbers.
That's right.
What is
Yeah,
this? Twitter?
yeah. It's like a
Elon Musk
bot.
is never going to buy us.
That's kind of interesting. Eh? Did you hear about his little hands-on all hands meeting he had?
I did not. I do know the last I heard was he's like, look, Twitter could possibly be 50% or more bots, and we need to look into it. And Twitter said, okay, fine, here you go. And basically gave him access to something with a cool name. But that's the last I heard about it.
Well, he had an all hands on deck meeting, I guess yesterday or Wednesday or something. Project Veritas got a transcript of it and, of course, put it out there. And I guess some of the people were melting down because of the shit he said. Like apparently he said something to the neighborhood of "all lives matter." I don't think he actually said "all lives matter." Maybe he did. I don't know, just to troll them, but whatever. Yeah, a lot of them were losing their shit because he said, "Well, basically, you know what? Like, my bias is towards people being in the office. So if you're working from home, if you're doing an exceptional job and doing really valuable work, then you're probably going to be able to work from home. But
Right.
we've got an issue with the headcount. Like, there's more people working, and we don't have the revenue to justify it. So a lot of people are going to get fucking axed. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
One of the engineers or whoever works at Twitter released a bunch of the Slack messages because I guess they use Slack for inter-office chatting and whatnot. So they released the Slack messages of the woke crowd at Twitter losing their shit and giving him crap. Not to his face, obviously. They're doing it behind the scenes, right?
With their fucking sock accounts?
Yeah, but there's I don't know. Hey, what's this we got here? It looks like a game you're playing.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll get back to Elon Musk. So, okay. I'll explain to Uncle Jeezy because I'm pretty sure he's legit the only live viewer right now.
The only real
So,
viewer,
yeah. I've always called my show After Hours, and that came from something that, I would be a guest on somebody else's live stream, and it was their stream, so I wasn't, like getting ripped that badly. And, they were strict about their 2 hours.
right?
So they'd shut it down at 2 hours, and sometimes we were just getting going.
Yeah.
with some stuff, and I had just had a couple of drinks, so it'd be like, we're going after hours. And yeah, that's how it happened. But now, Craig and I rarely do our shows anymore, and my schedule's changed, so we tend to go earlier. Like, you can't call a show after hours if it starts between 9 and 10. After hours was
It's
like
true. Unless you're in
it's
England. In
like
England, 9 o'clock is late. Right?
but after hours was like 1 in the morning, bars closing, back to
Yeah.
my place after hours. Like, so
After party, that's right. Yeah.
yeah.
No, you know what? And I would be fine with doing that. Like, I would like to do this on a regular schedule. So
We were for a while. We had
we
gotten into
were
it,
we were doing it almost weekly.
but
And
shit just
I would be
happened.
fine doing it weekly, and we could even do after hours on your channel immediately after my stream. But the thing is, I probably wouldn't be able to stay up super late,
Right.
and you sometimes get really sloppy
See, but there's the trick then, Craig.
before our stream even ends.
There's the trick.
Yeah.
Because we're doing them back to back, I don't drink on your stream.
Well, you could drink, but maybe like in the last hour, have a drink, and then
Right.
you can go get sloppy
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
your
That's
stream.
which is what used to happen when I was starting this after hours thing, and you know that was how it went. And yeah, so that's not a terrible idea either. But now, since again we're starting early, and a lot of times it's just our ugly mugs up here while
That's
we
right.
chat, I decided, my buddy Six has been doing some fun shit with video games for quite a while, so that
Yeah.
there's this cool visual thing going on. Which now I just have like this fucking big patch of green instead of our faces.
We should build a house in the shape of a swastika or something.
I wasn't gonna build a swastika house, but I'll think about it.
Build a house in the shape of a maple leaf, because I know how much you love Canada.
Oh God. And yeah, like I mean, I don't have a lot of time to invest in the video games that much anymore. So I mostly don't want them to be stressful, right?
No.
I don't play them at the hardest difficulties and try to get all the fucking trophies. And I'm not against using mods or in some cases even cheat codes. So
Right.
casual as fuck, okay? And just
Yeah.
something that I can idly play in the background while still having a conversation. I don't have to think much about playing The Sims,
No.
right? It doesn't take my focus away from whatever it is that we're gonna be doing here. So this is gonna be sort of like maybe the new thing. This is actually the pilot of casual as fuck.
Well, I'm on board. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, it can be pretty cool. Because I had some fun stuff with this. Speaking of Sims and Six, who's been doing some Sim stuff. This is I suddenly realized it's demonstration of the personality difference that when Six plays a Sims, he built all his friends a Sim, right? So people he knows are Sims in the game now,
Right.
right? And I was like, oh, did you build this house? He's like, oh, I made a couple of modifications, but I didn't. Yeah, it was just I have not built a single person. I only built my own character because I don't like what stock characters there are, and all I want to do is build houses.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't want to play the game. I just want to build a cool house.
Yeah, I mean, I like I'm a creative mode kind of guy.
Hmm.
Like, I played No Man's Sky quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, I like normal mode, but I hate getting in all the pirate dogfights and stuff. I'd rather be on creative mode, but I also want the story to progress. And creative mode is like really holding your hands kind of stuff, right? You've got all the materials you need. You've got all the blueprints you need.
Right.
I want to be able to, I want to have some sort of challenge. I want to be able to unlock things.
Then you want Elite Dangerous.
True. Well, I've never played Elite Dangerous. I hear it's really good, but I've never played it.
Yeah, like again, and Elite Dangerous, I have it, I play it, I love it. I'm looking to invest in a ridiculous fucking what do they call it? The hot ass hands-on throttle and stick.
Oh yeah.
Just to play it, and all I do is space trucking.
Nice.
All I do is
haul
go
stuff back and forth and get paid.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
And the whole thing that I'm trying to do in that game is just save up some money outfit a wicked ship so that I can start doing like deep space exploration.
Cool.
Right. Try to avoid all fights, avoid all humanity and civilization, and just see how far I can get. Like people make a fucking pilgrimage in this game to
Yeah.
Sagittarius A, to the black hole at the center of our galaxy.
Right.
For most players, it takes roughly 6 real months. If they dedicate an hour or two a day, it'll be 6 months until they reach Sagittarius A.
Have you seen any of the stuff about Starfield?
Oh, it sounds familiar.
So Starfield is basically
Bethesda.
Bethesda's
Yeah.
new game. It's
On
essentially
my wish list.
It's essentially Skyrim in space.
Mhm.
It comes down so much so that people are joking when they started watching the gameplay video that they released, and they see that there's mining and crafting and stuff. They're like, oh, they should call this No Man's Skyrim because it's essentially the same thing as No Man's Sky. But there's story elements, there's NPC dialogue, there's factions and things you can join.
Right.
But yeah. You're gonna build an octagonal house, or is this a pool?
Well, so they have this new thing, not new thing, it's not new anymore. But I'm playing around with their platforms
Yeah.
to try and do like backsplit houses, but not exactly backsplit houses. Just splits. You'll see.
I will watch and learn.
No, because we should be having like cool conversations about like how Justin Trudeau wants your blood. Shit
Oh my
like that.
god! Yeah, I saw that thing you linked me. I'm like, yeah, he wants a blood sample from every Canadian. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a stool sample. I'll put it in a paper bag and leave it at the 24 Sussex. It might be on fire.
Maybe on fire.
Maybe on fire. The guy, I just, what? Like, people meme about how he said, I admire China's basic dictatorship, but it's clear now he would love to make Canada like China. He would love it.
Oh yeah, social credit score.
Social credit score, being able to control what kind of information people had access to, being able to control what people can say about the government.
Oh fuck. He's a proper psychopath.
He's a narcissist. He is a wannabe dictator. And you know what? Like I said it in the last stream, if he could find a way to become prime minister for life, he would jump at the chance.
Oh,
I have no doubt in my mind. He would jump at the chance.
No doubt.
Uncle Jeezy, what's going on? What the fuck? YouTube must love that taste of your balls. It sent a notification on my phone when you went live. Well, that's your settings. So you must have notifications set up for Irving Twin.
Sure, but also I haven't been putting out content, and I've been hemorrhaging subs. So the fact that he's still around. Oh, hey, Terry's here.
Terry Diamantis. Hey, I remember you guys. Yeah, we're not as active as we used to be. If you caught the last ammunition, you would know why that is for my part.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into it again. It's a very sore spot. Not really, but I'm not going to get into it again anyway. I don't want to bring shit down. I don't know Terry Diamantis. I don't know if has he been to the ammunition before or.
I'm not sure. Terry is friends with Six. They've been working on that the show Nice Hikes that Six does quite a bit.
What's it called?
Nice Hikes.
Nice Hikes.
No, hikes like walks.
Oh, Nice Hikes. Oh, so like they do videos while they're walking around?
No, they do videos of walking around the city in GTA 5. But he just walks around and says hi to people.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So the online GTA, right? GTA 5 online,
Nope.
is that it?
No.
So he just says hi to the NPCs?
Yep.
Huh.
And they say hello. And he just walks a different part of the city and they chat while walking.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I said, been doing cool stuff with video games and like just giving the viewers some other thing to watch than our ugly mugs. I just I saw the value in it.
Yeah, I'm interested in that Starfield, except I don't want to get an Xbox. And if I get it on PC, I'm gonna need to upgrade my PC. My PC is a clunker. It's like old. It's
Mm,
falling apart. But I am interested in it. I love Skyrim. I still go back and play it now and again.
really?
Nice Hikes is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been on a couple times.
And Uncle Jeezy says, no one else that I have notifications on ever gets a notification to my phone. Well, they just know how much you loved Irving Twin. Yeah, Irving
Oh,
messaged me today. Or no, was it earlier? It was this week. Earlier this week. He asked if we want to do one. Or did I ask you? I don't remember.
yeah, yeah. Assume I'm always down, so it doesn't really matter who has to. Just
That's
it's
true.
happening.
Yeah.
This is happening now.
No, it's cool. I'm glad we could do it. Yeah, I am completely on board with doing ammunition on a weekly basis. I think that might actually garner some subs. Ammunition on a weekly basis, and we could do after hours immediately after it on your channel.
That's not a terrible idea because then I stop making a mockery of your show by being fucking blind ass drunk by the end of it.
You don't make a mockery of my show. You bring value and entertainment to the show
I,
because people can only listen to me blather on about shit for so long. And I have a tendency to, when I'm doing ammunition, I don't let you get a word in edgewise. I just fucking rant and go on.
that's not true. Like I get so drunk, I just talk over you.
Well,
Oh,
that's
but before I
happened,
get
but it doesn't happen a lot.
before I get too drunk and I forget because this is part of your show and not mine. Nobody tells jokes anymore. I've got a fucking doozy in the chamber. You're gonna love this fucking joke, okay?
Do it. We don't have to wait till the end of the night to do it.
So the Catholic priest says to the rabbi, "Let's go fuck some little kids." And the rabbi says, "Ooh, out of what?"
Oh my god, that's good. I love it. I'll tell a completely tasteless joke about priests. What's the difference between a Catholic priest and a pimple?
What's the difference?
A pimple comes on your face when you turn 16. And the priest will do it before that, I guess, is
Yeah, I imagine.
the idea, right? I think the punchline. I'm sorry, folks, I fucked up the punchline. A priest doesn't, or a pimple doesn't come on your face until you're 15.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I remember Irving being surprised that Ammunition was an actual store in GTA. Yeah, I don't think Ammunition is new or unique.
I,
And the idea for the name came up from Irving because I'm into guns and I was going to do a gun show where I showed off all my guns. Oh, speaking of which, I bought a new airsoft gun online last night. I bought a P90.
nice.
I like P90s. I don't know why. I think they're a really quirky looking gun, but I don't like just regular M4s and regular vanilla looking guns. I don't want goofy looking shit. And the P90 is as goofy as they come.
Goofy as
Plus, it looks
fuck.
kind of futuristic,
Okay. I think you've shown me the P90.
Yeah, I'll find you a picture of it. One second.
All right, you're gonna pull it up.
I gotta find it first.
Okay, let me know when you have it, and then I'll let you share screen, and I'll just pause this.
What the hell? Why is it doing Norton Safe Search? I want it's fucking garbage.
Danger search.
Yeah, give me the danger search. I don't want that. Give me Googles. Give me the Googles.
Man, this is.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to say Gesundheit. I want to say I can't believe that the government has the balls to ask for blood samples.
Oh, I know,
But
right? Isn't it insane?
because what are they claiming, that it's like a COVID-19 antibody test? Do you have COVID-19 antibodies or something?
I could do that on my own. I don't need them to do it.
I know, right? I made a house.
All right. If you want to allow me to share, I'll share this tab. I
Yes.
don't know why Norton Safe Search is on. I don't remember turning it on, but whatever.
I think you have to do the share. MCB.
See it?
Yeah, and there it is.
FN Herstall.
I knew that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Okay,
make some
yeah.
cool looking guns. I tell you what. And this is I really like this. Now this might be the actual P90, but the airsoft version looks exactly like it.
Right.
Same size, everything. It's got the progressive trigger like the P90 does.
So is that hole towards the rear? Does your thumb go in there?
Yeah, your
Like, is
thumb
that
goes
the
in
grip?
there, and the front is your trigger finger. Front hole
Okay.
of your trigger finger. Yeah.
So it's like, I imagine they scientifically ergonomicked that and didn't just
I would think so. I don't think the Belgians are dumb. Okay, now you got to share your game again.
oh yeah.
Um, yeah, it's so the progressive triggers and people who know guns, um, people who know guns know what this means. So when it's on full auto, if you do like a half trigger pull, it shoots one round. If you pull all the way, it goes full auto. And it
Okay.
also has a semi-automatic setting, so you only shoot one round. But that's in the real steel version and in the airsoft version. So I really like that little aspect to it. That's a nice looking floor plan you got there. Lots of little stairs.
See, just because they have this platform tool now, instead of just building like second floors,
Right.
you can raise the platform of one floor a little bit. And I haven't done a proper back split or side split type house, but I was messing around with the bones trying to do like a double split
Hmm.
where it splits up to the back and then up again into the second floor.
Right.
But it's awkward and I haven't been able to figure it out. But this was something that I've been messing with that seems to just happen really nicely.
Yeah.
Where you have
If
like,
you use an odd shaped platform, you're probably fine. Yeah. If you yeah. If you,
it just seemed to work, that like you have your entry level that walks up onto, like, let's
this
call that the
landing.
living room.
Yeah.
And then up here I'm going to do like the kitchen, dining area, bathroom over on this side. And I don't know, I could throw like a open concept bedroom up there too for just some coolness. We'll I'll see how creative I get.
Do it up. You need some
Yeah.
windows in there.
Yes, yeah, it's a little dark right now, so that's going to be the next thing. Just throw a couple windows on it. Also, I kind of like it's sort of based on this thing I saw of somebody's drawing of like the interior of what looked like a spaceship, and I only knew that because the fucking ports were open and it was deep space out there.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I'll just keep messing around. But yeah, no, that give us your blood.
Oh yeah. It's insane, eh?
Like, the thing that bothered me, of all the things on there, one thing that really bothered me was he's videoing over the. Oh, do you still have the link? Can you send the link to that tweet into the chat?
Yeah, for sure. One sec here.
Was that in the video? He's showing the paperwork that like it came all official from, I think it was a UPS or something like that, and all these brochures and all this. And at the top of the brochure, it says something like, "Why do we need your consent?" What? And then they
Oh, yeah.
answer their own question. You know, the way the government treats you like a child.
Oh yeah. Well, we asked for the nanny state when we said, "Hey, maybe the government should take care of providing all our health care." You know, so
No, but like, it's got to be explained to people that they don't understand why the government needs consent. Like, that's the state of the people of our country,
Mm-hmm.
right? That they might not know that. They might not know that the government simply can't demand your blood.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, again, like they have it in their head that, well, wait a second, we're their parents. Why should we have to get their consent? There's the tweet, folks, if you want to take a look at it.
Daddy state. I like that. Jesus Gonzalez, welcome.
And we got mass creation broadcast. Oh my.
Yeah, MCB.
I read that in George Takei's voice in my head. Oh my.
My.
Daniel went from banning pistols to we're taking your blood really fast. Good time to add some secret hidden spaces. Yeah, so you can hide your guns.
Hide your gun. I gotta hide my guns from the Canadian government.
Yep.
In my Sims house.
Well, they're trying to get rid of my airsoft guns too. Right? You know, they're trying to pass that.
How absolute, like, retarded. I can't. I literally can't even.
Yep.
You know,
I got followed by a famous airsoft YouTuber on Twitter.
nice.
Yeah, a guy called Kicking Mustang. He's a Brit, and he's like a elite sniper in England, English airsoft, and he's been banned from fields because people are pussies. He does a lot of headshots, but he only does headshots because, well, he's a sniper. And that's why you wear fucking protection. Anyway.
Okay, Terry was saying, yeah, Six has been playing Sims on nice hikes, and I missed the last couple. But apparently, it doesn't matter which neighborhood he builds and how he has to rebuild the me sim, or he, of course, builds Gordo into my sim, my dog.
Yeah.
That my dog ends up being like the weirdest, most interesting character in his fucking Sims. That they follow my dog. We followed Gordo walking around the Sims neighborhood. He went on like a 9-mile hike around the whole town just by himself.
Yeah, dogs don't care, man. They'll just keep walking.
Oh, like he's just like that. He's that weird in real life.
Melina freaked out one time because we had someone over. We had contractors in our backyard putting in a patio, and they somehow left the gate unlocked, and we let Kenzie out back to do her business, several times a day. And I guess she got out the front yard.
Oh no!
And she was like freaking out. Where's Kenzie? I'm like, she's out back. She's fine. She's like, no, the gate's open. Don't we turn around? We open up the door and she's out front, like sniffing around in the neighborhood. I'm like, Kenzie, get over here. She was really freaking out. I'm like, well, she wouldn't go far. You know that, right? Like, she's a good dog.
Dogos. Always getting them.
Barry says it's pretty cool that the lighting actually changes when you add windows.
Oh yeah, like I've even got this thing here so you can see where the light comes at different times of day, so you can adjust you can plan your build for your patio to get like the afternoon sun to barbecue. You can have your kitchen, for the morning sun and get the morning sun for breakfast and shit, right?
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat. Okay, so whenever I'm building, I neglect a front door and go straight into building a kitchen.
Most important part of the house, kitchen.
I truly believe that. Yeah, I have so much fun with kitchens. I can do them really like just. I always have a kitchen in mind.
You'll always find me in the kitchen at parties. You know that song, yeah? You've heard that
Kaylee's,
song.
right? The Kitchen Kaylee.
Oh, it's there's a song called "You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties."
Oh, really?
Yeah, you recorded it. I can't remember.
Come on. There you go. But yeah. Oh, so this was weird. I had mentioned this to you the other day. Toronto police services have done studies and declared themselves to be systemically racist.
Of course they are.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't like this. Uh, have you heard anything about this? Did you hear it on the radio? Ever come up? No.
No, I'm not. And I don't listen to like legacy media so much. I don't typically have the radio on in the car. It's either silent or I have my Spotify going.
Okay. Yeah. No. I like my talk radio. I'm getting real upset too because my one remotely conservative pundit talk show host on my drive home has been
Yeah.
on vacation for the past like 5 or 6 weeks, apparently.
Oh, really?
I'm wondering if she's ever coming back. And it's just been leftist after leftist after leftist taking over her show. Like I'm losing my
What
fucking
station
mind
is
when I
this?
drive
What
home.
station is this?
AM 640,
Okay.
right? And yeah, uh,
Um, Canada is of the left. You realize that, right?
yeah, I know. And that's
Uh,
what I meant. Like my remotely conservative is like, okay, you have some conservative positions, and on other things, you are a hard Canadian leftist.
yeah,
And but she's just not there anymore.
that
And
sucks.
yeah, like I'm wondering if they fired her and they're just not saying because they didn't change the name of the show.
What's the show called?
Okay, so she's Alex Pearson,
Yeah,
and her show is called On Point. Get it? Pearson Point? So it's still on point, but they stopped saying, oh, filling in for Alex Pearson is this person. They
right.
just say this person on point,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, holy shit, is she gone?
Did you check her socials? Like, is she on Twitter?
No, she is. I follow her on Twitter, but I've been avoiding my socials.
Oh yeah.
Uh yeah, like occasionally I'll get an actual direct notification of a particular tweet on my phone, and I'll go to that and maybe like it or retweet it or whatever, but very rarely. And yeah, so I really I
You
don't
don't
know.
know. Um, Speaking of Justin Trudeau, did you hear his recent words that Canadians don't have a right to use firearms to defend themselves?
Yeah,
Which is technically true. We don't. There's nothing in our laws that say that one that we have a right to defend ourselves, but then there's nothing in our laws that indicate we have a right to property either.
I actually
Um,
disagree with you. It's in there. It's just it's not directly said, but it is implied.
we have a
And
right to the security of person. Yes.
yeah, you have a right to life, security of the person, and the right not to be deprived thereof.
Right.
The government says actually, if a firearm wielding maniac breaks into your home, you are obliged to die on
Yeah.
behalf of all other Canadians and their safety.
Right.
That is the laws they have passed.
Well, people, if you defend yourself in Canada with a firearm, you will be arrested. You'll have your guns taken away from you. However, in most court cases, the judge or the jury finds in favor of the defendant. In that case, they say, "Oh, he was justified in using his shotgun," because I think that would be too much for people to swallow. Saying, "Look, he was broken into, and this guy would have killed him otherwise." I think you're
Yeah,
gonna have to do something with that corner cupboard. It's overlapping on your window.
I know. I'm so
Can you
mad.
can you shrink? Like, can you push it?
No, like there's a cheat I can use to actually make it smaller, but I mean, I could just end it instead. I think the
Or
end thing.
no, what you could do is change your window.
No,
Make your window smaller.
that window's got to be nice and centered.
No, but you can make a smaller window but centered. That'll
Yeah,
work too.
yeah. The end piece works just fine.
Yeah, but Colion, I think is how you say his name. Noir did a good video on it. He's saying, look here, that's the thing. They don't have that written into their constitution, whereas we have it, so that we can protect ourselves from anybody, even the government.
But before we get too far away from it, I do want to point out, yes, the jury may find you not guilty of wrongdoing, and you won't have to do jail time, but it'll take 3 years. It'll be the most expensive, stressful 3 years of your life. Then they won't give you back the guns they confiscated, and they'll never license you for a firearm again.
Yeah, that's true. And the fact of the matter is, you can't sue your government in Canada. Technically, practically, you might be able to bring suit against them, but you will never, ever win, because they'll use the tax dollars, they'll use the taxpayers' money, they'll use your money against you.
Yeah.
To keep it from going to trial, to keep delaying it, to countersue you, whatever. And it's brutal, and that's the thing. Like, there's such a disparity in power in the courts, and the fact is that the courts, they should lean towards the rights of citizens over the rights of the government, but they more often than not don't. And there's got to be an overhaul of some sort in how our judicial system works. You get a few judges who are like, no, our Constitution Act, the Charter of Rights is very clear, and I will, side on behalf of citizens whenever possible. But they're few and far between. And yeah, it's like, why bother? Why bother suing the government if you don't have a chance of winning?
Yeah, like it's our courts are stacked with activist judges, and people don't realize that there have been judges, like, I can't remember specifically where I was reading it, but a judge basically said, look, that's what the law and our constitution say, but it doesn't matter because progressive. And then just went completely against the actual constitution. It's like, wait, what? How do you justify that?
Yeah.
Because they're activists.
Yeah. Mass Creation Broadcasts corrected me on 3 separate comments saying it's colon noir. Yeah, but it's spelled colion, Colion. So he might pronounce it colon, but it's not spelt that way. And I thought he says colion, but I could be wrong. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's been on a number of different podcasts and things. Anyway, I like his channel. He's got a good channel. And this is the thing I don't like about the Canadian firearms community. We don't have any people on our side who say the laws in this country are wrong. People should have a right to defend themselves with firearms. People should have a right to carry a firearm if they feel it's necessary. And you should be able to get a license to do so. Everybody's like, no, we're all sports shooters and we're all hunters. And we understand that, the ability to use violence against other people, that's the purview of the government alone. I wish we had more like 2A minded people in Canada, as opposed to like, we're all just sportsmen,
I've been having this conversation with
a
people.
bunch of fuds. They're all a bunch of fuds.
Yeah, like that. I've basically just been screaming at people, you're wrong. But yeah, like I was saying, like, look, if there's a gun like Uvalde happened, right?
Yeah.
And then of course Justin Trudeau never wastes a good crisis.
Nope.
So suddenly we are banning in Canada, because of a crime that happened in another country, a bunch of firearms that weren't used in the commission of the crime in the other country.
Yeah.
So
they wanted to go after handguns for a while. They were pushing it back when the order in council was put out there. They wanted to they basically put it out there, said municipalities should be able to ban fire or handguns in their communities. And then the RCMP came out and said, no, that's really not their purview. You said that we're going to handle firearms the application of firearm law in Canada, you can't all of a sudden put it in the hands of municipalities. Now, municipalities could, by virtue, say, we don't want a gun club in our community. And they could shut down a gun club, or they could, deny any requests to open a gun club. And that's within their rights, right? But to say that they can somehow institute firearm legislation at a bylaw level, no, it's already been decided the RCMP is going to be doing that. So, yeah, kind of crazy. And now they want to do three boosters, or 3 shots is equivalent now, is the only it's considered fully vaccinated now.
But they also let unvaccinated people on planes again for the time being.
Yeah, they said they're suspending the restrictions.
Yeah,
not doing away with them, but suspending the restriction. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm losing more and more love for this country every day.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it's gonna see. The thing is, the wife doesn't really pay attention to this stuff. And when I tell her some of the stupid shit that they're proposing, like when I told her about the banning of handguns, she's like, "Why? That's dumb." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. It is dumb, but it's what they're doing, and it's going to pass. And they're going to ban airsoft too, and it's going to pass." So I'm like, I love my wife, but I mean, I don't want to live in a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to convince her that New Hampshire's the place to be.
I just man.
Or if Alberta separates, I can move out to Alberta.
Nobody needs a gun or a toy that looks like a gun.
Well, no, their justification is that there's been too many incidents of people using airsoft guns in the commission of a crime. The cops have to assume they're real guns, so they end up shooting somebody who didn't have a real gun. And
You know what?
Yeah, so what's the fucking problem?
Yeah, I am totally fine with that. I'm absolutely fine
play
with that.
Stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know what I'm saying?
My guy.
Now the only issue, the issue with doing that is, okay, so you have this, this tweaker who couldn't get a gun because he doesn't have the contacts in the criminal community, but he needs money to get his next fix. And he knows that Toronto Airsoft sells an airsoft gun that looks like a Glock. He doesn't need a license to get one, so he goes in there and he buys a Glock airsoft gun. Doesn't know how to use it, doesn't care. It looks enough like a Glock that he can get away with it.
Yeah.
So he buys one. And then he goes and holds up a gas station or a convenience store. Makes off with a few $100 so he can get his next fix. But no one was ever in any real danger there, even though it looked dangerous. Their point is, well, no, we need to take away his ability to not do any actual harm when he's robbing a convenience store. So now the tweaker, his only option to get money when robbing is either use a knife or find someone in the criminal community to give him a real gun. So now they've just elevated the threat that this tweaker, who never would have hurt anybody, is now going to cause, because you removed his option to use a non-lethal device in the commission of his crime.
I think your assessment is like 70% good. Well, I think that, look, I am familiar with addiction. Okay. Allow me to light another cigarette.
I'm just using it as an example.
No, I know. But I think that, no. If he can get the airsoft gun for cheaper, so he can spend more money on tweaking, he'll do it because it looks real enough that it's a threat. But if he used a real gun, that person is a threat. If a person is already going to these lengths, this is a person that will harm people to get money and tweak.
Well, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter with what, right? So the idea that, we have to protect that tweaker from the cops who might mistake it for a real gun is like, no, that person's already crossed that line.
Yeah.
They haven't physically done it, but mentally they're there and they're going to.
No, what I'm saying is that the threat to the store owner is greater now because you've taken away an option for a guy who would
Yeah, like
otherwise use a
airsoft gun could
non-lethal
kill.
device. Now you're forcing him to use a lethal device, whether it be a knife, baseball bat, or real gun.
Well, at least the store owner would still be on a fucking level playing field because he's not allowed to have a goddamn firearm.
Yeah. But then criminals don't obey the law in the first place. So
Yeah, that
um,
by definition, that is
exactly. Jesus Gonzalez, situating cupboards never seemed to be properly or practically thought out. Jesus Gonzalez, perhaps a built-in couch sofa. Jesus Gonzalez, Canadian gun owners are among the most safest law-abiding citizens in the country. Legal owners, yeah. Well,
okay.
yeah. As a
Hold on,
matter of
hold
fact,
on.
we are. It's true.
Yes, by demographic, if that is a demographic included against any other demographic, they are the most law abiding. They don't even cheat on their fucking taxes. They don't jaywalk. They don't get parking tickets. Okay. They're absolute lowest across the board.
I'm a
It is
total straight
fucking
edge.
insane.
I'm a gun owner. I'm a total straight edge. It's true.
He is. We were at dinner. It's like it's an Italian restaurant. Have a little wine. I'm gonna have to drive in 2 hours, so I can't have a fucking two
No, I
ounce
wouldn't even
glass of
have a drink.
wine.
Thing is, I don't drink wine. I drink. I'll have a rum and coke. That's my drink of choice. And if you know,
It's a
one rum and
flavor
coke.
experience, Craig.
No, I know, but one rum and coke would be enough to, put. Well, it wouldn't put me over the limit, but I don't even want to risk it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if Jesus or anybody else knows this, but being a gun owner in Canada, having a restricted firearms license, like me, meaning
You're on a
right
list.
now, for the time being anyway, I can own handguns. Um, my name gets put through a background check every single day. Every day they run my name through a criminal background check to make sure there hasn't been an incident, that I've been involved in that will make the Canadian firearms officer be required to give me a call and say, "Hey, what happened? I see you were arrested last night for, drunken disorderly, or you're arrested last night for a battery or assault." Um, and if that happens, if I go out to a bar one night, and some guy shoves me and I shove him back, police get called. That will happen. The CFO
Yeah.
will call me probably the next day, maybe a week later, say, "So what's happened here? Why were you involved in this incident?" And then I have to try and explain myself. And I don't have the option of saying I don't talk to you without a lawyer. I mean, I guess I could, but that's a surefire way for them to say, "Okay, well, we're going to come and arrest your guns." They'll come and take my guns away until it's
Yeah.
resolved in the courts. So,
What guns?
what guns? Yeah. Sorry, I had a boating accident. I don't own any guns.
Yeah. You know what though? Every time I hear the joke, I can't help but think of Goldmember. I lost my genitalia in an unfortunate smelting accident. I lost my guns in an unfortunate boating accident.
It's right. Yeah, that's Terry Diamantis says maybe you need a law that says criminals do have to follow the law. Checkmate, lawbreakers. Yeah, no, it's a good point. Whenever everybody says they should make AR-15s, like I do this on Twitter all the time. These school shootings have to stop. They should make the AR-15 illegal. I always say maybe they should just make murder illegal. Then everything would be solved.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
Just make murder illegal. Again, by definition. Fuck, man. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's nice.
Is that your liquor cabinet?
Yeah.
Is that your dream liquor cabinet? If you had a house, that's what your bar would look like?
Oh, actually, it doesn't fit in this house, but I'll show you the nice one. The real. Oh yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
You could get rid of some windows and that would fit perfectly.
No, it's got to go. That would definitely have to be on the wall behind the bar, right?
Well, you could get rid of those floating shelves and put that
No,
there.
it needs the bar to move, and
Oh,
then yeah, because it's actually
oh,
those
because
are
it's
just
got a
decoration.
footprint. Yeah, okay, I
Yeah,
see.
this is much bigger.
That's okay. You know what? I like that bar. It's low profile enough. Looks like you got a couple of round fish tanks in the front.
Yeah, it's called like Captain Bartholomew's Bar or something. Like it's made from like an old ship.
That's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
I like it.
Because it's not overdone. But yeah,
Not in the least.
is
So what's on
that?
everybody's mind tonight? You should make some comments. Ask us some questions.
Oh wait, they can ask questions while they think of their questions to shoot at us. I want to talk about Toronto police are racist. Toronto police services declare themselves racist.
That sounds like a Babylon Bee article.
Refrigerated bottle shelving. Yeah, you got me. I got them. Uh, I'll get there. I'll circle back to it. Trust me, it's in there. Uh, the what were you saying?
I said it sounds like a Babylon Bee article.
Toronto police services declare themselves racist. Yeah, uh, like, but the info they've given me on the radio, I haven't had a chance to look at the data if it's publicly available. I'm not even sure. But they're doing the same thing that they are always doing. Okay, and I always have to wonder. Was it Twain who said there are lies, damn lies, and statistics?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it was Twain. Yeah, I
he
think you're right.
Twain didn't mean, or whoever it was, that we have to throw out all the data and never trust any statistical analyses. What he meant was people who are unfamiliar can easily take data points and twist them and do a bad analysis and draw faulty conclusions that seem to be supported by math.
Mm-hmm.
Also, even worse, someone who is familiar can purposely, maliciously take the wrong data points, do the wrong math, and make it appear as if there are conclusions here to mislead people that aren't actually borne out by the statistics. And the one thing I always see is this: even though this was the claim from the TPS study, even though black people make only 10% of Toronto's population, they represent 40% of police uses of force.
Okay.
Do you see the problem?
Well, I see a problem if they don't, if they're not involved in 40% of crime that requires police force.
Don't see. There's a deeper problem already. It's data points that aren't supposed to be compared. They're not comparable data points. It's completely disingenuous. People can make this mistake, but they make the same mistake over and over and over. Okay. What they've done is compared police uses of force to the whole population.
Mm.
Craig, I have not, in an official capacity, interacted with a police officer in the past 6 years. Okay. And I mean official because my cousin's married to a cop. I see him occasionally, family stuff,
Yeah,
but
but
he's not being
that's
a
not a
cop.
police interaction. That's
Right.
interaction with a person, with a police person.
So what business do they have putting me into this stat? What use of force are you talking about to compare me? I haven't even spoken to a cop. I haven't been pulled over. All right. I haven't been in the presence of a fight or crime where I have to say, yes, officer, I was a witness here. How is it fair? This is absolutely wrong to put me in that group of 10% of the population, but 40% of the uses of force. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. What they should be doing is looking at all of the interactions that police have across Toronto and the demographic
Yes.
breakdown of those interactions, and then indicate whether or not police force was required or used in interactions with one segment of that demographic group over another, and then break it down further by the types of crimes that were involved, right? Like the
Yeah.
types of interactions they were. If it was simple traffic stop because you ran a red light or whatever,
Right.
or was it breaking up a domestic, or was it apprehending a suspect in a a robbery or something like that.
And just to demonstrate it further why it's unfair to compare it to the whole population. Where what is happening here? Imagine for a moment, uh, I have been diagnosed with an incredibly rare form of cancer.
Okay.
A cancer so rare that maybe in our country at any given moment, only about 20 to 25 people have it. Okay. That rare. Every single person who's been diagnosed with this cancer dies within 6 months to a year of this cancer.
Yeah.
The doctor tells me, don't worry, Irving. 99.99999% of all Canadians don't die of this cancer. Therefore, you have a 99.99999% chance of survival. Is the doctor correct?
No.
What? Why
No.
are you comparing it to all the other people?
Right. Right.
Just to illustrate why
Now,
that's wrong.
so if the statistic broke it down like this, that only 10% of the people with police interactions were African American, yet 40% of all use of force was used against those 10% and not against the other 90%, which is the rest of the people apprehended or involved in police interactions, then I might say, okay, well, you got something here then, because if only 10% of police interactions were from a specific demographic group, but you used force on them 40% more often, then there might be something to it. But again, it's as what is it here? Use of force is deterministic and not probabilistic. So disproportionality isn't evidence of discrimination. No, you're right, Uncle Jeezy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every situation is different. So yeah.
Isn't that 1040 argument a white supremacist talking point? I think it's
No,
fine to
no,
agree.
it's not a yeah, it's a white. No, look, in the
Oh,
U.S., in the U.S., African Americans make up 13% of the population. However, they are involved in roughly 50% of murders.
yeah.
So they're overrepresented in murder suspect statistics and murder conviction statistics. That's something completely different from what Irving's talking about.
No. It's not because similar problems to a lesser degree, right? That probably that 40% of use of force is because, well, guess what? There are gang spots and gangs in Toronto,
Right.
right? I live near a place called Jamestown, right? Jamestown gets raided regularly. Okay. Every few years, they literally send in the goddamn cavalry just
Yeah.
before Caravana.
Right.
All right. And they'll organize it. They'll go after the group out here in the West End. They'll go out into the East End in Scarborough, and they'll go central to Regent Park and Cabbagetown, right? And arrest as many people as possible just before Caravana so that everybody is on probation and awaiting trial so that they are far more aware and don't want to get themselves in more trouble. Okay. Now, guess what?
That seems a little sketchy. I mean, they arrest them for what?
Uh Look, Jamestown.
No, but
Let,
you can't
let,
just
let,
arrest somebody. They have to be caught in the commission of a crime, or they have to have an outstanding warrant.
yes. Okay. So places like Jamestown, certain neighborhoods in Scarborough, Regent Park are always being surveilled
Yeah.
because of the crime and the drug dealing.
Right.
Let me tell you, the last time that I went to Jamestown was got to be almost 25 years ago. Okay? We were looking for weed, couldn't find any. None of our people were around. Let's just drive through Jamestown and ask somebody. So we drive through. All right. We see some dudes looking sketchy. Perfect. Walk up and not even walk up. Roll down a window. Guy walks up. Yeah. You got weed? Okay. Somebody else comes up and says, "No, I'm selling these guys weed." Before we know it, these guys are in a fight and somebody is drawing a knife. And before I can watch somebody get stabbed, we just drive away.
Wow.
Trying to stab somebody over selling a dime.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'm gonna get this $10. Okay, that's what it's like.
Yeah, that's
It's
nuts.
not better now, as far as I know. So they're always being surveilled. They've
So
always got
these
something on
people,
somebody.
they've got a warrant waiting in the wings
Pretty much,
for something. Yeah. Okay.
right? And yeah, every few years, like 4 or 5 years, they just go in, execute every warrant they have, make sure as many people as possible are arrested. Always a week or two before Caravana.
I understand the logic behind it. Some might say it's predatory policing, but I don't know.
No,
But
no, no, no,
what I'm
no. These are problem areas. They're
yeah, no,
like
they're
that.
problem areas. I get it, but individuals living in that area may not be culpable for the problems of that area, and they might get swept up in the arrest. That's all I'm saying. Um, but it going back to what Terry said about the 1040 argument or the 1053 argument or whatever.
I think he was just
What
trolling.
I'm saying is that it's a different statistic from what Irving is citing, simply because the way the Toronto Police Services did their thing is like, look, blacks in Toronto are only 10% of the population, yet they're involved in 40% of use of force actions by police. It's like you said, it's mixing apples and oranges. We need to know how much they are represented in police interactions in the first place, not how many of Toronto citizens happen to be black, right? So
Yes.
that's where the statistic variances between the so-called 1040 or 1053 myth.
There.
Some
Happy
commenters'
to.
comments are not showing up for some of this. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments through StreamYard. I should be looking in the actual stream. One sec here. I don't think I've missed anything. I see Jesus Gonzalez retracted a message. Would you say Jesus?
Jesus. Oh, okay. While I'm calling him by his proper name. So we tried Papa John's.
Yeah, what do you think?
Uh, I've had really bad pizza. Papa John's is not really bad pizza, but it's not that
Oh,
great.
you're Italian.
Look, my sister says I understand why the Blancos like it.
Yeah, Munja cakes like Papa John's. The reason I like it is because of the clarified garlic butter dipping sauce. Fuck, I love
That's
that.
the word, clarified. I couldn't think of it. Uh, how you make butter room temperature, and it's liquid at room temperature. It's clarified butter.
Yeah,
So she
you skim
told
the
me
fat. You boil it, you heat it up, you skim the fat.
she really loved the garlic knots in that clarified butter.
Yeah.
That was quite good. That was a very good thing. But the pizza was like, I'm not, 6.5, 6.5.
Okay, what type of pizza did you get?
So yeah, no, I didn't go with the thing. I have to go with what I like to
Yeah,
judge the pizza, right?
no, I hear you.
So it was simple bacon and mushroom.
Okay.
But the bacon and mushroom weren't the issue. The bread was a little, like, the dough was a little bit bready. Like, it wasn't a pizza dough. It wasn't very too different from bread. The sauce, very clearly a tomato paste and not crushed tomatoes.
Right.
The cheese may or may not have actually been mozzarella. I've
Yeah,
had
I,
I've
I
had
don't.
what?
I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, Costin, welcome. Um,
Yes, Costin.
I um, I think here's the thing. I like the Philly cheesesteak pizza they make, probably because I like Philly cheesesteak flavors.
Right.
They make a donair pizza, although the one in my neighborhood doesn't do it anymore, which really pisses me off. The donair pizza is fucking awesome. If you like
For,
donair pizza,
if you
but
like
again,
donair.
I'm a munja cake, so that's what I like.
So for those who don't know, donair is our East Coast maritime tzatziki.
Yeah, it's like a sweet garlic sauce. And a guy, the rumor has it that a guy in Halifax had a gyro shop, and there were a lot of gyro shops, and gyros didn't really take off, but until this guy changed his sauce and made it a sweet sauce,
Huh.
and apparently the way to make it, it's just evaporated milk, garlic, and some other spices and stuff. It's fucking delicious. Anyway, you have it on, and he's instead of using like lamb, he used seasoned beef, and that appealed to the
Okay.
Canadian munja cake palate more than
I see. I see.
gyro did. So yeah, no, I like donair. I like Papa John's donair pizza. There's a place in Milton called Halifax Donair that makes a donair pizza that's amazing, but they used to be in Burlington where I am, but they closed up shop here and now they're just in Milton, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, for dial it in, it's not fair to compare it to what my sister or my aunts and my nonna make, right?
Yeah.
So I don't do that. But for dial it in, pizza shows up at your house in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
For me, the standard is Pizza Nova. Like that is the best pizza.
I can't remember the last time I had Pizza Nova.
Go for it. You know why? One of the key things is you can tell when you're eating that pizza. This is not tomato paste. It's not out of a can. This is crushed tomatoes.
Yeah. Good night,
Right.
Jesus.
Good night, guy. But ciao. And that's like that's key, man. Fresh ingredients is just makes a huge difference even in fast food.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right.
I just like so Melina likes pizza, and I don't really like pizza. I find they're very bland. I don't like their garlic sauce. I think it's too thick. I
Mm.
like Topper's pizza because of their
Oh,
garlic sauce. And I know that's like munja cake, dial a number, order pizza. But Papa John's is my new go-to, and it's really comes down to the dipping sauce. And I don't know why I'm so fixated on dipping sauce. It's just that when you get to the crust, unless it's really good dough and
so
it's done right, you want to dip it.
yeah, and see for me, Pizza Nova, that crust, it's asking Pizza Nova for thin crust is a little redundant. It's already pretty thin.
So it's like New
So
York style.
yeah, sort of. And it's that end crust. It's hardly anything, but it's nice and crisp,
Yeah.
and it's a proper pizza dough that's cooked through and very nice. Don't need a dipping sauce to enjoy it. Um, and pizza, my sister and I were talking about this. That for us, that's the junk food pizza.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Except that it's terrible and awesome, like a tornado. That sometimes I just want the junk food. I don't want to home slice my fries and do a little deep fry. I'm just going to eat a bag of potato chips,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll do in a pinch. So yeah,
No, see, I don't even like pizza in a pinch. Like, when you come home after a night of drinking at the club or at the bar or whatever, and you're like, oh, I want to order pizza. Pizza is the last place I'll order from. I'll order from Toppers or Papa John's.
How do you feel about Pizzaville?
Pizzaville's good too. I like them too. I haven't had them
Okay,
in a while either. But I
that's our
like them.
common ground. That's our common ground.
Yeah, I like
Pizzaville is
Pizzaville. Yeah.
Pizzaville's fairly good. When I'm really like, ooh, you know what I want to do? I want to abuse my body with grease and deliciousness. I'll order their panzos,
Yeah.
but I order the deep fried panzo, extra cheese, pepperoni, bacon, no sauce.
See, we used to get when I worked at a gas station. No sauce? Really? That wouldn't be so dry?
No, because the extra cheese, right? And you
Okay, fair
deep
enough.
fried it, so it's just like this bag of grease and fucking cheese and all. And I'm lactose intolerant. I'll suffer for that taste, man.
Oh, are
Like
you really?
that's quite delicious. It's
Well,
not pizza. It's not Italian, but actually, but it's something.
I used to work I used to work at a gas station when I was a teenager, and right behind us was right down the road was a Geno's Pizza. And
Okay.
we used to order panzerottis from Geno's. And there was something about, having your fingers covered in that like black carbon from the visa slips, and maybe a little bit of grease on them from when you were checking somebody's oil, and eating this big, it's like a medium pizza folded over and filled with whatever you ordered. And I always got mushrooms, green olives, and pepperoni.
Fucking calzone.
And
Yeah.
it was so good. Oh my god! And it was just
No.
stuffed full of it. They were like leaking all over the place, and that like orangey grease would collect in your fucking hands. And oh
Uh,
man, I miss those
no,
days.
no. My sister says it with love. I am now saying it with just like disdain. Fucking Blancos. Geno's. Geno's is the absolute worst pizza I've ever tasted in my life.
I am not saying it's good. I'm saying that
Someone
the
ordered
memory of getting
Geno's.
a panzerotti when I
No,
was a teenager working at the gas
no.
station was good.
Gino Geno's is the worst. Like I'd eat 2 for 1 before I will eat Geno's.
Yeah, 2 for 1. You get two pizzas for the price of one. I mean, you can't go fucking wrong there. Like that's like a no-brainer. No, Geno's isn't good pizza, but when I was 15 years old, pumping gas at a gas station for like $3.70 an hour, and there would be a lull in at night, and I'd be there with my buddy Darcy, who's a priest, like a minister,
Mm,
and he wasn't a minister then, but he's a minister now. He actually officiated at my mom's funeral. But
oh,
he'd say, "Hey, you want to get panzerottis?" We're like, "Yeah, let's get panzerottis." And like you say, I want green olives, pepperoni, and mushrooms, and you get it, and it's like they took a small jar of Unico green olives sliced and fucking poured it in there. It was just
just dump
full
it.
of stuff. It was so good.
Just dump it. I do like green olives on a pizza. That's
It's you know what I don't like them on a pizza, but for whatever reason in the panzerotti they were fine. But because on a pizza they dominate, like it's all you can taste. You know what I mean?
sometimes, yeah. So something else I've noticed, for people who like meat, on a pizza, pepperoni seems to be ubiquitous. So it's always pepperoni and all these other things.
Yeah.
Uh, one time somebody brought me a pizza with no pepperoni, but bacon and
Mm,
mushroom.
mm.
Taking the pepperoni out made it better.
Yeah,
It's
I would agree.
actually better to just have bacon and mushroom than pepperoni, bacon, and mushroom.
Well, that's like what do you call it? Pizza's Canadian pizza is pepperoni, bacon, and mushroom. And I'm like, you know what? I'd be fine without the pepperoni. I'd
Wait,
actually
isn't it green
prefer
pepper? I thought there's green pepper on there too.
that's their deluxe. Their deluxe is pepperoni, green
Oh,
pepper, mushroom. I prefer it with green pepper, bacon, and mushroom. I think that would be better. Melina likes roasted red peppers. I'm okay with roasted red peppers,
yeah, that's all right.
but she
Uh,
doesn't like meat on her pizza. I'm like, what's wrong with you? How did I marry you? She always gets a veggie pizza. So when we order pizza, we do like the half and half thing, right? I'll get meat on half. She'll get roasted red peppers or some shit, or Kalamata olives if they have it on the other half.
Okay.
And if we're ordering Papa John's, I'm like, well, I want the Philly cheesesteak, so we'll get 2 smalls. You can have your small veggie pizza and all my Philly cheesesteak ones.
Hey, for all the things you might not like about pizza, I have to give them this. When you get to their fancier selections of toppings,
Yeah.
they're actually good.
Well, yeah, because they have Kalamata olives. They don't have just those
Yeah,
black olives from a can that taste like
they do.
rubber.
They do sun-dried tomatoes that are
Yes.
actually quite nice,
Yeah.
and their spinach. Same with Pizza Nova. It's not spinach thrown on a pizza; it's sautéed, and then it's thrown on the pizza.
And they use baby spinach too, so it's like
Yeah,
much softer. Yeah. Yeah,
but
no, I'll give them that. But they're not my go-to. I would avoid you going to them because I don't go for the fancy pizzas, except if it's like a specialty,
mm,
like that isn't really pizza. It's, a Philly cheesesteak on a flat bread. But yeah, man, we've spent a lot of time talking about pizzas. Things must be pretty good in Canada. We're not even bitching.
well, except for the inflation that
Well, yeah,
hasn't
price of
really
pizza's gone up. That's true.
ruined us yet, but a lot of people, according to Arlene Bynum instead of Alex Pearson on my show on my drive home, oh, the psychological effects of having to not indulge every moment, every day of your life is gonna fucking hurt people.
Oh, she's a WEF plant. That's what it is. That's why your girl got taken off. She's not.
Are
She's
you
not in line
kidding?
with the
She's not
WEF.
even. She's just a piece of shit.
No, I
she's
guarantee you. The
she's
executives there, they're like, okay, Klaus has given us a call. He wants us to, change our formatting. We got to get somebody in here who's going to be friendly to the WEF's 8 to 10 year plan, the fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset. Who do we got? No, it can't be Allison because she's got too much conservative leaning. No, we got to get somebody in here who will mock the Canadian citizenry for how good they have it, who's aware of her own privilege, and will constantly remind them that things in Canada are good, despite the fact that they're losing their freedoms daily.
God. What freedoms have you lost?
How about fucking all of them? I like your house, man. It looks like a
Hey.
bunker with that cinder block wall.
Oh, it's just dark brick. Sometimes I try to find a good backsplash, but with the splits,
Yeah.
because it's all one wall, the backsplash doesn't show up right. So just going with a solid brick.
Don't mind me. I'm eating a banana.
Go for it. You
I
found it
promise
on
I
your
won't look you
keyboard?
directly in the eyes while I'm eating it, Irving. I will give the audience some banana eating ASMR if they want.
Oh, yeah, lean into your mic. Hey, remember, the title of tonight's show is Casual as Fuck. That doesn't just mean my video game play style. That means the whole thing. It's just whatever the fuck, wherever we go.
Yeah.
Just loose, just casual. Was it Jeezy or Jesus who was asking about my industrial cooler for liquor? Here
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, I installed it. Yeah. Nice wine cooler. Fancy modern wine cooler. They don't have an older one.
I like the brown fridge. It's a nice contrast from the glass cabinets. That's actually kind of cool. That is a fridge, right? That's not a pantry.
Oh wait, so that's my fridge. That's my industrial wine cooler.
Yeah, but the brown tall thing there, that's your fridge,
Here,
right?
this
No, to
one.
the left.
No, that's a cupboard. Yeah, it's part of the upper cabinetry. I just used it to
This thing that's standing there, that's just a cupboard?
this one. Where am I? Can you see the hand?
I'm watching the YouTube. I'm not watching the StreamYard.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a part pantry with drawers. It's just part of the see the
Oh,
covers?
I thought it was a brown fridge. I'm like, that's actually
Oh
kind of
no.
cool.
No, this is my fridge here to the right of it. I guess it's brown. See, on one screen it appears brown, on the other screen it appears quite black.
Very weird. Yeah, it's a good looking house, man. I'd live there.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I've been
You build it for me on a nice little hunk of land in New Hampshire, and I'll make it my home.
yeah, New Hampshire's pretty good. But again, I'm sick of this weather. And New Hampshire has weather not too different from ours.
No, it's pretty close. Yeah,
Uh
their
that's why
their winters are a lot colder than ours, actually.
well, you know, Toronto, Burlington area, yeah, but Canada, no.
No, I mean like where we are,
Yeah,
because they're on the other side of the lake where they get all the fucking weather.
the
Now,
nor'easters.
mind you, they're actually on the coast. They got like 13 miles of coastline. But
But that's why my choice is Texas.
yeah, I'd like Texas. The only thing I'd be concerned about is uh,
Mexicans.
the I didn't want to say that. I'm saying crime from you know, less
No.
than savory individuals who are not there legally.
So again, most of that occurs in the heavily populated areas,
Hmm.
right? That are run by Democrats. There are towns and small cities run by Republicans that are incredibly safe, which is
Yeah, well,
why I
yeah,
chose
I have no
Odessa.
doubt.
Yeah, Odessa, Midland. I'd live in either side. Odessa, preferably, but that's more like a stylistic choice.
Is that something you're still looking at doing?
Yeah,
Moving down that way?
yeah, but I'm still not allowed. Um, so their diversity visa lottery, as they call it, where they just randomly allow people to get a green card and move, is
Yeah.
still closed to Canadians, because too many Canadians have moved down there. So yeah. So I'm sort of stuck. But yeah, Texas on the list. Smaller city Texas, maybe like Florida is not my speed really, but I do it because DeSantis, guns, uh, and then like Arizona and New Mexico
Yeah.
are also on that list because like Idaho seems right for me politically, but again, the weather. Like, if I'm escaping this country, I'm escaping all of it.
Yeah, you want to go somewhere warm. I
Yeah,
understand that.
I'm done. I don't need another winter.
Yeah.
I had 40 of them. Several of them were spent in Winnipeg.
Ugh.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
Uh,
as people outside of Winnipeg call it, winter peg.
yeah. Yeah. And the people who live there call it the peg.
Yeah.
Uh, it minus 50, 7 feet of snow regularly. Like the whole city's prepared. Everyone has a ton of supplies because they know that 3 times in the winter, that whole city's going to shut down for
Yeah,
several days.
how much of Winnipeg have they built, underground, I wonder?
Uh,
Like, you know
like
how in Toronto they have the path where it's basically like, you can walk from one end of Yonge Street to another almost underground.
oh, like they're like Young and Dundas area between the condos and
Yeah.
office buildings and stuff. I don't know because it's not that big. Like it's not even 1 million people.
Oh, really? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's in the realm of like 400,000.
So it's like Burlington sized. Burlington's like
Right,
200 and something, almost 300,000 here.
and the capital of Manitoba.
There you go. No, I think it'd be smart for a lot of Canadian cities to plan for the weather that they get and build most of their their shopping malls and their commercial real estate underground. Well, like, why not? That way businesses can stay open. People can, get to work. Because I mean, imagine you got a shopping mall underground, and everybody who works in that shopping mall lives in the apartments above the shopping mall. They just have to take an elevator downstairs to go to work.
Well, I mean, we could just put them all in pods and have them work online.
Yeah, and eat bugs.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's no, they've all. I'll give them this: the crazy prairie people out there in Manitoba and Saskatchewan with their ridiculous winters and no defense against the cold, the Arctic wind. They're hardy and they're prepared. Okay, that's you talking about Kelly Lamb. They're they don't need that shit.
Yeah.
They know how to deal with it already, right? Like making people softer and weaker and giving them underground tunnels for when things are hard is like, no, they don't want that.
No, I'm saying it's not about making them hardy or weak. I'm talking about if you have to shut down your city 2, 3 times a winter because of the weather, that takes a real big bite out of your economy. And
It it would if your whole purpose was your economy and your profiteering, but they're already prepared for it. They already know it's going to happen. It's factored in. It's like shrink for large corporations where we know a certain amount of stuff is going to get stolen.
right,
So we've wrapped it into our costs already.
I'm
And
just I'm just saying that humans adapt their environment to suit their needs. It's one of our hallmarks, right? We don't adapt to live in our environment. We adapt our environments to meet what we want, what we need. That's why we invented air conditioning and forced air heating. So uh why not go full hog and like do cities the same way, especially in these really shitty areas? I don't mean shitty, I just mean really bad weather areas. It's like in the Midwest where they have like tornadoes every fucking year, and the Midwest is full of mobile homes and things that are like tied to this to like cinder blocks with metal fucking wire basically.
right, right.
Why aren't you building your houses in such a way that they can withstand tornadoes? You should, and high winds. Build your houses as domes. Make them big fucking concrete
Yeah, I've seen this
igloos,
and they
and
work.
then the
Yeah.
wind just rolls right over it. And same
Uh,
with people who live in coastal areas. Why are you building a fucking house within, you know, uh, 1 mile of like an area that's going to flood from a hurricane? Why aren't you one? I mean, a lot of people who living on the beach, they build their houses on stilts, but why aren't you building them in such a
look,
way so that they're not going to be impacted by flooding?
look, the tornado thing, the flooding thing, I understand. But what I'm trying to say is the people of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, they've already done it. Our
Yeah,
homes don't get destroyed. We just
no,
have to sit tight a little while and they know how. They've solved the problem,
no, I get you.
right? And I think it's probably the most cost effective way. We have a ton of water in case the pipes freeze. We have all these non perishables. The pantry's always full. We can go 14 days. So when it shuts down for 3, it's not a problem. No one's scared. No one
I'm not
worries.
saying to be scared. I'm saying for psychological purposes,
I,
it
no,
might
for
be
psychological
better for
purposes,
people. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's good for them to be shut in for 3 or 4 days because they spend more time with their family. They become appreciative of the simpler things in life.
but it's
Fine,
made them tougher too, I
and
think.
it's made them tougher. But I'm saying like if you build a path type of system in Winnipeg, so the people could go to the theater when the streets above are covered in 5 feet of
Right,
snow,
right.
then it
Well,
might make it more attractive. Is all I'm saying. Might make it
maybe,
more bearable on those days.
but Craig, this is one of those things that has to be done by government.
No, nothing has to be done by government.
Okay, okay. It's one of
A
those things
land
that
developer
would
could say, "Hey, we're
generally,
going to do this and build this, mid to high rise apartment, and then underneath the apartment, above the parking levels, is going to be all fucking shopping malls and little cinemas and food courts, And so people have a place to go when the weather outside is fucking terrible and you want to go and like relax and window shop.
Nah. No, I loved it. I loved it. I loved not being able to open my front door because we had a wicked blizzard that dropped 7 feet of snow on the 7th of November. That
Wow.
was my first winter in Winnipeg.
You
Okay.
you love being able to put a pot of water,
I thought it was
boil a
hilarious.
pot of water, throw it outside, and it turned to snow.
Yep.
That's pretty
And
cool. Actually, when I see videos like that, I'm like, that's so cool. Science is so cool.
that's what snow is.
Yeah.
My front door was plowed closed by the 7 feet of snow. And we opened the back door. We had like a what do you call that? You know, the sliding glass
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing for about 5, 6 feet. And then the drift
Yeah.
up against the neighbor's house because we had no fences yet. It was a new subdivision. 7 feet high of snow, like almost straight up 7 feet. But all this empty space because the way the wind was coming down at the front of our house. So there's that gap. We could go out the back, no problem. And there it is. And like we loved this as children. We thought this was amazing. And we just got to not go to school for a few days.
That's
And yeah,
cool. Yeah, I love snow days when you get when you know you can't go to school and you get to stay home or go sledding or whatever. That's pretty cool.
like you know, the first thing I started doing, I think I was 5 or 6. My younger sister was 3. The first thing I did, my dad is hoisting my sister up and setting her up on the 7 foot drift of snow and letting her sit up there. And I started digging. I'm on my knees and I'm digging. I was just 7 feet of snow. I'm going in there, and I started making like a excavating to make like a cave inside the snow.
We used to do that too.
Right? It never occurred to me this is dangerous. Like that the weather can kill me. It was like at 5 years old, I already dominated the weather by like, ha, sucker, you just gave me fun.
It's true, eh? Yeah, we built forts out of the snowbanks from shoveling the driveway. Like we build tunnels underneath them and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was part of being a kid, you know, having
Right.
snowball fights across the street. You build your little fort in your snowbank at the end of your driveway.
Yep.
Your neighbor friend across the road does the same thing, and you just fucking hurl snowballs at each other across the street.
That's it. Paintball wasn't invented to simulate war. It was invented to carry that snowball throwing tradition into adulthood.
That's right. Same with
Yeah.
airsoft.
Yeah. Same game.
I want to. There's a place in Scarborough called Siege Airsoft. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool field, indoor field, I should say. Uh, and I've never played it. I've been to it to actually to buy a gun off of another airsofter. We met at Siege because he was going there that day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come into Scarborough. I'll pick it up. And I looked at it. I'm like, wow, this place looks amazing. I ordered some new goggles that have a fan in them because I fog up really
Yeah.
badly. And I got my P90 coming. Hopefully that comes in next week or so. And yeah, when I get all that gear going, I think I'm going to head into Siege and play on one of their Saturdays. Terry says at Craig Reg, the humidity gets to me as well, but I've gotten used to out of necessity. Well, you have to, right? You're not going to stop living just because fish are swimming by you on the street. No, it's just it just adds so much. It makes it that much more oppressive when it's really hot. Like today, it was kind of hot and humid, but there was a nice breeze. So when I took Puppy for a walk, it was perfect. But yeah,
Yeah, but Terry's in Australia, and
Australia. So this is their winter.
Australia.
They're just getting into winter right now.
Yeah, and he lives under a bridge.
Is he really?
That's what it sounds like. Every once in a while, there's just this like whips past him, and I just picture him like under the overpass. with his tarps and his computer desk.
So let me ask you this, Terry. How did you feel about the restrictive measures during COVID? I imagine you weren't a fan, I'm gonna guess.
One of the jokes that he and I share is, something's wrong with your life when the whole world goes into lockdown and for you nothing fundamentally changes. Yeah. Uh, yeah, like I'm sure in principle the man's against it, but it didn't directly affect him that much.
Well, no, but I mean, like the problem with it is that uh, they got away with it once, which means they're going to try again, and they're going to try and push it even further, just like they're going to do in Canada. They're
Well,
going to
like
push even further here in Canada. They're going to say, "Oh, you know what? 3 boosters, 3 shots is now minimum you need to be considered fully vaccinated against uh, a, a virus that is essentially the flu."
uh, and at this point, I don't even know. I don't want to talk about it. It's so exhausting. I'm so exhausted. It's been like 2.5 years of this shit now. You know, and I do want to talk about how Canada and Australia are sort of the same country.
They're very similar in how they treat their citizens. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have all the same sort of social problems, government problems. Like our climates are entirely different, so people think it's not the same. But guess what? There's people in different areas of the world that truly believe that neither of our countries exist. Oh, 19 of the 20 most venomous toxic animals in the world live in your country and you have to keep your boots on a stick, otherwise you're gonna find a fucking spider in them. Yeah, okay, sure, you live there. Like,
Yeah, but
or
I mean, like we got
or
lots of
snow and
we got.
igloos,
I
right?
mean, brown recluse is indigenous to North America too. Black widows
No,
are in Canada,
it's
uh,
is it
but
the
the incidence
huntsman
of people
spider?
getting bit and dying from it are very very low.
No, it's the huntsman spider, I think it's called. Okay,
Huntsman, yeah.
where it's almost the size of your hand, and guess what? It's in your house. You see it. That's it. It lives there now because it's fast. So you think a big ass spider like this would not be fast. It's fast. You can't catch it. It just lives there. It lives in your house now. And what's really terrifying is as it skitters across the floor, you can literally hear it. You can hear it skittering. And you're not going to be able to catch it. You're not going to be able to get it and get it out of your house. You're not going to be able to kill it.
Burn your house down.
Just nuke it from space,
That's
right?
right.
Like,
Fuck. It was nice
yeah,
while we lived here. I guess we're moving.
but that's it.
Well,
That's
now here's the thing, though. How venomous are they in terms of if you got bit by one by accident? Because
if you
it's
were
not going to.
not if you were not treated promptly,
Yeah.
it could be very, very bad.
Would you die?
You could.
Okay.
If you
So
don't die, you will suffer long-term consequences.
no doubt. Okay. But my guess is you're not their prey. They're preying on other pests in your house. So you should actually
Right.
consider yourself kind of lucky. Like
No,
when I see a house spider,
no, fuck no.
I don't
No.
care.
When I see a house spider, I get him in a cup and I send him outside because I am a mammal. I don't share my dwelling with other animals.
Except the
Okay.
dog.
Unless that animal is subservient to me.
Right.
Okay. I farm that animal. My dog is my dog.
Yeah.
He belongs to me. He does what I say. That's what he's good for. My cow is milk or meat. Make a choice, cow. Spider, you go outside. You protect my plants because I farm them too. It's all this whole system. Mammals do this. We don't share our dwellings with invaders. But holy fuck, those poor people
In
in
Australia.
Australia that have to fucking suffer this shit. Like,
Well, I don't mind spiders in my house if they're on the wall or the ceiling. They're fine there. As soon as they're on the floor or on a countertop or a table, yeah, they're gone. Like, nope. You keep to the walls and ceiling, you're fine. You take care of all the bugs that happen to get in here. You're doing your job, but don't come on my table. Don't come on my floor. That's where I walk, and that's where my pets walk. That's where my wife walks. So get lost.
You know what that sounds like to me, Craig? Farming. You're
Yeah,
farming that
yeah,
spider.
it's kind of.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't let your cow or your goat in your house. They stay outside. They stay in the pasture, right?
And definitely don't ever let your cow upstairs.
Don't let your cow upstairs because it won't be able to get down.
Yes. Cows can walk upstairs, but they cannot get down them.
Well, you can let them walk up the stairs. Just be prepared to be eating a lot of beef afterwards.
They're too top heavy. If they go down the stairs, they'll just tumble and die. So,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Take them upstairs, slaughter them, and just eat a lot of steak for the next little bit.
uh,
Well, you got yourself a nice little house there. I still think you need more windows, and it doesn't look like you have a place to sleep or a place to take a shit.
okay, so these empty spaces, I think this is designated for the bedroom,
Yeah.
and this one for the full bath.
So it's a one bedroom.
Yeah, like for all that space, it ends up being one bedroom, right? And
You
I mean,
should.
or I could stretch this wall out to like here, make this something more like a sunroom study area, and put
Yeah.
some stairs up, and we could build up here and
Yeah,
have like
you could do that.
multiple bedrooms.
I have no problem with one bedroom because I'm a fan of the tiny house movement. What you could do if you were going to make that the one bedroom there, what I would do is make that bathroom to be both a regular bathroom with an ensuite entrance, so that if you're in the bedroom, you can use it without going out in the hall, and if
Okay,
you're a guest, you can use it without going into the bedroom.
so haha, there's no wall here. It would just be the whole floor plan is open concept, kitchen, dining, bed, and then the bath is closed off from
Yeah.
the wall.
No, I know. I'm
So
saying you'd have to expand it so that it ended
yeah,
up being an ensuite as well.
so I don't have a proper like room to put like a computer office area, but that matters less to me than a bar.
Of course.
And my bar is pretty slick. I'm not mad at this bar. I got room up on the walls here to put some paintings, decorations, some lights.
Kyrgyzstan flag.
They don't have that. They have pride flags, and oh, let me tell you, I got an update. I was like, oh, Sims 4 is updating. What's going on here? Let's see what happens. Oh, guess what? Now you can choose your fucking pronouns.
Mother of Christ.
I
Do they have
know.
at least the Gadsden flag?
No.
The fuck, man?
No, they don't have anything offensive unless you're,
How is the Gadsden flag offensive?
well, because it's literal Nazis that fly that flag, Craig. Your
No, it's
freedom is dangerous
libertarians that
to
fly
me.
that flag.
Your freedom is the declaration of violence against me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the pride flag should at least have lions on it. Yeah, that actually would make sense. Yeah, a lion's head and all the mane is made up of the colors of the rainbow.
And then a snake body just for kicks. Not everyone's going to get that joke. No one's going to get it.
Hold on, you keep playing your game. I'm gonna go get a drink and throw out this banana peel. I'll be right back. Can
I'm
I
here.
can I
Let's do
hide
it.
my face? I can
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
cam. There we go. I'll stop cam.
There it is.
My logo should show up, right? No, it doesn't. Oh, well.
No, you're not signed in.
Oh,
It's okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's just been strange here, but pretty happy with the kitchen. Stove and that check. It's classic. It's also cliche. I don't know if I should change it. It's a little. It can be very creepy at times. It's not coming off creepy to me right here. because it's so little compared to all the black white floor backdrop that I have. Uh, so it's not out of place, which it often is. Um, so let's look here by room. Let's put a rug for the living room. Let's find something fairly big here. Basically, everything gets bigger as you go down the line. Yeah, that's a good size. But that's going to be very much the wrong color. Oh, it's not that bad as colors go. But let's remove it. Let's check out some other color patterns for this. No, too dark. Oh, deep blues. Whoa. Yeah, that's still way too dark.
What's too dark?
That rug that I put in the center of this
I like
floor.
the design of that rug. Yeah, if you could get a
Yeah,
little
it's
lighter.
nice, but I got to find the right color. Oh, let's. Yeah, everything appears darker than what it shows me in the preview.
What about that teal? Two over to the right.
This one? What?
I can't see it. All I see is green. The one to the right of that, like, so there's that white one to the right of it, and then there's the one to the right of that in your list.
Oh,
On
oh.
that one.
Okay, so that's just like a tarp.
Plain. Yeah, it's just plain, right? Too dark for you?
It's got other colors. Let's take a look. So that's the white one. Or see,
Gray.
whatever you see on screen is going to appear much darker in the room.
Yeah, it looks kind of gray here.
Yeah. Uh, and this is a very basic, very clean kind of.
Now you got two carpets.
Okay. Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Right, because the floor is so white, the stairs so white, at that
Yeah,
white.
you want some contrast.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
you
got to
need
be
a
a
little
little.
side table by your door to throw your keys.
Gotcha. How about? Oh, what are we gonna do here? Oh, what's this? Floor is black, so let's go with.
I think that's a little big.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. That's more of an end table, but whatever. Well, it
Yeah.
won't let you put it there for some reason.
No, it said green when I put it there, and then I tell it okay, and it says no. How about the other corner, you asshole? Yeah. Yeah, it literally is an end table, but
Yeah, the problem though is when you open the door there, it's going to bang into it. You almost
uh,
think you should put it between the two windows. I know it's a step in, but it's still close enough to the door that you know it's going to be there when you got to go grab your keys.
right, right. Okay, hold on.
Looking for a sculpture to throw on it or a piece of art to put above it?
Uh, everything. Because toss your keys is a great idea, but where am I going to put my shoes?
True.
Um,
Well, if you're me, you leave it on the floor by the front door, so you can just put them on later.
Yeah, right. But I mean, also I could have like a fucking shoe rack.
Yeah, or you could make a closet, but that eats up so much space,
Yes, and they exist. You can put closets and wardrobes and stuff. That would be more bedroom generally, but let me see if I can find the other bit, like a coat rack kind of thing. Yep.
There you go. Perfect.
Or this one, or there's one with that has fancier clothes. There it is. Yeah,
There you go. Your outerwear and a couple boxes on top. I
that's my
like it.
fancy shoes. These are
I
the
like it.
regular shoes. That's clearly a box of fancy shoes.
That's where you have your pistol.
No, that's the small box.
Oh, right. That's where you keep
or
your.
or the black bag.
That's where you put your P90. Okay, so above your little key table there, you got to put a mirror so you can check your look before you walk out.
Very smart.
Nice. I like how it reflects too. That's
It
amazing.
literally does. Yeah, like this game is pretty crisp in terms of graphics, and it's kind of disappointing to me that I am not of the same mindset as my man Six, because you've seen Six's face, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's a ginger spick.
He is so fucking simmable.
Yeah.
His face is like absolutely. There is a way to recreate him identically. Like where's my sim? Okay, look, this is vaguely like me.
That looks exactly like you.
If I tell you that's me, you'll be like, okay, yeah, in terms of video games, I will accept this.
You have to make a sim of me.
Your face is possible, but Six's face, it's like they took photos of the man's face and were like, let's build an entire simulation of humans around this game, around this face. It's all going to be based on the way his face works. It's so possible, and I really want to try it, but it's going to take a whole lot of work, and it's going to be so like painstaking. But I know I can find it. I know I can make Six exactly in this game.
Make me.
You're possible. It's not gonna, but yours is gonna be like mine,
Yeah,
where it's
that's
like,
fine.
oh yes,
Except
that
except
is
I won't
enough like him that I will
except I
accept.
won't have the right, the same, shoulder to waist ratio as you. I'll be like a skinny fat.
Look, I cheated. Obviously, I have the cheats. This is casual AF, right? I just made my forearms bigger and my waist smaller with the mod
Yeah.
modify in CAS.
See you, Terry. Looks like he left about 5 minutes ago, but
Oh, sorry, Terry. Uh,
Uncle Jeezy made a good point. Bathroom 2 levels up from the bar is a recipe for disaster. That's true.
yeah, I'm not always looking for practicality in the homes I build, but again, see, 2 levels, that's subjective because basically this here is still a 1 level home. There is literally only one floor in terms of the rules of this game, and it's different platform
Yeah.
settings. Yeah, so and what's really terrible is the bathroom doesn't exist. There's a box where a bathroom should be, but there's no bathroom there.
You should make a bathroom and make sure you got like make it so that it's like a shower as opposed to a tub. Make it like a big orgy size shower so you can have like 5 people in there.
Why not both?
Well, because if you stand in a tub, you'll fall over because of the angled sides.
You can do this.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Just like open.
Yeah, open shower. Or
Yeah, it could be a wet bath, right?
yeah, straight up wet bath style Japanese.
Put a bidet in there.
They don't have a bidet. I
What?
think the
What
I
do all
think
the European players do?
I just think the sexual connotations are too much for the game.
There's nothing sexual about a bidet. It's a hygiene device.
Apparently, you've never used a bidet.
It's a hygiene device. You can be sexual with it, but you can be sexual with anything. Hell, a shower nozzle is a sexual device if you want to make it a sexual device.
Am straight. Yeah, just wet, open, wet shower there, wet bath. It's gonna be a mess. See, I don't know how to work with that though.
What do you
Like,
mean?
I put it on the wall, and now I'm like, now how do I build a bathroom around this?
Just put a toilet right next to it. Put a sink and vanity right next to that. And you want different tile in there, maybe like a nice white tile.
I'll how about a door so we can get in it?
It's
And
good.
now, yeah, uh, yeah. See, shower here.
I would
And
put the toilet over here then, over opposite the door.
opposite the door,
Yeah,
like
like not directly opposite the door, so a little off to the right, maybe, but on the opposite wall of the door.
like that
Yeah. Well, can you move it in a half a square or no?
here.
No. Move it towards the shower half a square. That's better.
Yeah. Okay. And now we have like freestanding sinks that we can put in, uh, or we can use like the kitchen tools.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't rot from the water from the shower, you're good.
No. So if you've never played The Sims, eventually, all your stuff will break down, and you can either pay to replace it, repair it, or repair it yourself and earn handyman skill points.
Ooh. Good call on the light above the shower or above the sink. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have a little rack to hang your towel and robe right next to the vanity.
They work. They're there. So robe up here.
Well, I would put it on the but then it gets wet when you're showering. I put it on the other side of the vanity.
No, I'll put it near the toilet. Right, and then we'll put this towel, cool towel rack, right there. And now where's something else? Ooh, hand towel and TP.
There you go.
Ah. All right. So what we're gonna do is some floor tiles. Where's tile? Right here. We're gonna go with something. We got dark outside. We'll go light in here. And then the walls, tiles. Let's go straight out of Japan.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's nice.
Not too shabby, right?
Yeah, and you know what? You got that whole wall to play with. You could put some floating shelves where you have extra towels and shit.
You're not wrong. I can actually, there's kinds of decorative options that are just like toiletries, bathroom extras.
Now, do you want to put a window in here so you got some extra ventilation?
I will do that.
Like maybe a glass brick window or ventilated or frosted or whatever.
I'll do something small, trim along the top.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Where?
Oh, you should put a samurai sword rack on the wall. Excuse
That's
me.
not perfect, but we can circle back to it. Windows. Windows are important here. Something small. All right, just a little fresh light,
Mm-hmm.
daylight coming in. Now I have all the weird, pervy sex mods on, so we actually have like neighborhood perverts that come and spy. So
Oh,
these
yeah.
windows, yeah, these windows are high enough that they cannot do that.
There
So
you go.
it's fine.
I
And
think you
just to make,
should. I think you should. If you're in your bedroom, you should do the same high windows.
well, see, the bedroom is also quite high. So just to make it clear that this is a bedroom, we'll just put a bed there in that open space. And that suddenly is too deep. It defies the open space concept. That's a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the whole thing is just like wide open, multiple levels, sort of a back split and a side split at the same time.
I like it.
It's not too shabby. Like I would live in this house.
Now,
Uh,
because you have the raised levels, you could, if there's a way, you can make a crawl space underneath that.
crawl space, no. Proper basement, yes.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
Okay.
okay, hold on. Yes, I can make a crawl space by going in the basement and using platforms to raise up the basement,
Fair enough. But
just
if
to
you're gonna
make it.
go all that, if you're gonna go to that trouble of making a basement anyway, why not just make a full basement?
Hmm.
Uncle Jeezy says any house has a bidet if you're willing to shit in the shower. He's not wrong.
Just waffle stomp that shit down the drain.
Waffle stuff. That's why I wear Crocs in the shower. These are my shower Crocs.
Oh,
Am I hearing like birds?
no, it's my fans.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, got 11 fans running in that computer. Haven't dusted it in 2 years, so they're a little loud now. I'm gonna have to just get a can of
Can air,
compressed
yeah.
air, let it rip. I really like my couch, a love seat. Like for such a weird space. Yeah, like I'd live here.
Yeah, that's cool. I would live there. But you'd have to have a second bedroom because I'm not sharing a bed with you, man.
See, that's why I was saying that this could be instead like a sunroom study area.
Yeah.
And then we could put some stairs up and have multiple bedrooms.
Yep.
Where else am I going to put my piano and multiple guitars? But regardless, very cool fucking house, right? Like,
I agree.
yeah, I'm not mad about this house. Oh, bullshit. Really? Okay. I'll accept that. That's not going to work. Stairs are going to interrupt it. It's okay.
Could you have floating stairs so that they're visible through the windows?
It's not really. Like all games, it's not perfect. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even big enough. Shit. Oh, yeah, that's the minimum. Okay. That's still plenty of light, right? Plenty of sun we're getting in here. I don't have a single tall. There it is. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to second level. You got to have an open to below so you can see downstairs.
Ooh. You just made my world tricky, bruh. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. There
Okay.
you go.
That means I need to fill all this upper space. Oh, see, if I'd known you'd wanted that sooner, I could have cut it earlier.
No, I'm just saying it'd be a neat idea.
Yeah, it is. Multiple splits, right? That's what the platforms seem to allow.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I haven't figured out how to use it yet, other than something simple like this. Like that shape you cut 2 hours ago. Now
Yeah.
it's a hole.
Yeah.
But I can't make I can't make a new mezzanine and choose the cut of the floor.
I hear you.
Yeah. I have to have that knowledge beforehand. But that's still pretty cool. But I mean, just looking at this, knowing the bedrooms are upstairs, and then knowing this room here will have musical instruments.
Yeah, a VR setup.
You want a VR setup like video games in this classy house? Really?
Well, it's nothing that's not. It's not. VR setups aren't necessarily not classy.
They're absolute. They're the opposite. They're the opposite of classy. The way kitsch is the opposite of art.
But they're fun.
Oh yeah, here this space, this would be like,
Ooh, grand piano, huh?
yeah, nice piano. Slick little acoustic guitar. Actually, let's put you over there because we can also put where the fuck is it?
Keyboard.
I wish.
Well, I guess if you have a piano, you don't really need a keyboard, right?
Microphone. So we have a little 3-piece band going here.
I'm on vocals because I can't play an instrument.
Do it. I've heard you sing. I'm down.
All right, cool.
I'll pick up the rhythm guitar. We just need a pianist. Right. And the way it's open concept and overlooks the living area, living and dining, right? Everybody gets to hear it. We have a party, a soiree.
Oh yeah, but where are people sitting to eat? You don't have a dining area.
I do, but it's
Oh, you have a dinette and a banquette. I see. Okay, I didn't see
yeah,
that before.
just yeah. Eating's not the point of my parties. It's there, it's available. You can sit on the couch and eat. I'm not so stushy about it that, oh, my carpet. Go ahead, eat where you want, guys.
That's what
But
vacuum cleaners are for.
huh?
So that's what vacuum cleaners are for.
Yeah. But it's not a bad house. Yeah. But where are we? We're quarter past midnight. We're over the 2 hours.
We are.
I'm getting pretty blazed. I'm pushing that point where I shouldn't be live anymore.
Well,
How are you feeling?
If you want to call it, I'm okay with that. I'm
Oh
kind of
no,
tired.
I want to just ask. Do you have some closing thoughts? Do you have anything to add to any of our topics or ideas for the next casual as fuck?
So the next casual as fuck should be a game that is not going to take a lot of concentration, but will still be enjoyable, right?
That's what happened here. I didn't need to concentrate, but you got caught up in it. Some of these guys were calling shit about while I was fucking building. They're like, "Oh, do this." That's the point, right? They
Yeah.
get involved, you get involved. I don't have to think about this. I can just do this idly while we chat, and we did chat, and I think proof of concept has occurred here.
No, I like it. I'm just trying to think of other games you could do as opposed to Sims. But it's nice and
Elite
casual.
Dangerous, because I just do space trekking,
There you go. Elite
but it's
Dangerous.
beautiful. Like it's such a gorgeous game that yeah, I can space truck without thinking, right? And again, casual as fuck. I'm not opposed to mods, so I could even play certain war games
Yep.
with all the buffs and shit that I don't really have to think about the battles, but something is happening on screen that isn't just our faces.
No, I'd be down.
Why are you profile?
Oh, it's just the way I'm sitting and I have my phone in my hand. I'm fucking around. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm down
Oh
with
no,
Elite
I was just
Dangerous. I've never played it and I'd like to see it, so that sounds good.
yeah, no, it's got some great graphics. There's another game. You were talking about the Bethesda game, but
Starfield, yeah.
there's another one that I'll check my Steam wish list, uh, where it's sort of like Elite Dangerous, but less about doing things and more about the visuals.
Cool.
Yeah, and the visuals are insane. Um,
There's also No Man's Sky. I don't know if you've played that. That can be fun.
I have. It is very fun. But I played it on proper release.
Yeah. Oh, it was shit back then.
It was not the game that was promised. Now apparently 10 years later or whatever, it is the game that was promised.
Yeah, it's
And
much
for
better
no
now.
money, never asked for more money.
Yeah.
Good job on them.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Elite Dangerous and some of these other ones seem to have done what they promised with No Man's Sky.
Hmm. Yeah, No Man's Sky is good now, and they've done so many updates. There's just so much more content now
Yeah.
in terms of things you can do, and the story hasn't really evolved too much, but they've got oh, excuse me, they've got more sort of elements to the story. So there's more shit to unlock and more little side quest thingies.
See, and one of the things that oh, it struck me as different with No Man's Sky versus Elite Dangerous
Hmm.
is that No Man's Sky procedurally generates everything.
Yes.
Elite Dangerous has a legit map of our galaxy with pinpoints as all the known stars. And if a player reaches one of the stars that our civilization, our literal IRL civilization, has not mapped,
Yeah.
it procedurally generates that.
That's cool.
Yes. So the map is real. The map is about as accurate as we know
So
as a civilization.
as we as humans discover more systems with planets around them, does Elite Dangerous update it?
I hope so,
That would
but
be cool.
also that's actually really rare. Like it's not nearly as common as we think. Um, but yeah, like what's really funny is that elite dangerous players are mapping more fake stars than our scientists are capable of mapping real stars
Well, that
while
makes
they
sense.
get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because they can't find stars that aren't there, or they can't find planets that aren't there. I should say.
But it's not like
Oh, excuse me.
no. It's not like Elite Dangerous at any given moment there's maybe 5,000 players online worldwide.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. Like
Not really,
every
but
new Modern Warfare drop, you're looking at millions of players.
sure, but different type of game, right? Like Elite Dangerous is essentially an MMO, a spacefaring MMO.
Yeah. But for a spacefaring MMO forever,
Yeah.
5 to 7,000 players at any given moment, that's really small.
Yeah, but MMOs have seen like a real drop in player base too, apart from like Final Fantasy 14 or whatever it is. Um, there
Well,
aren't a ton of players in MMOs anymore.
Eve Online was one of the biggest
Yeah.
for a while. Your friend was telling me that one night that yeah, it's still it like that event that happened with Eve Online is still the biggest event that ever occurred for a multiplayer massive online game.
Hmm.
Um, and that was like again something like 7 to 14,000 players that were online constantly in this one engagement for a period of weeks. That everybody, as soon as they got home from work, was going back online to go fight because something unprecedented
Right.
was happening, and it was just like this like huge war. But the Elite Dangerous map is too big.
Yeah.
It's too big for that. Um, yeah, that and but they're working on putting enough NPC stuff into it to make it worth your while,
Yeah.
right? And my plan was to build up to Explorer, right? To the right ship. The ship I want is insane, and all the accoutrement. It's so expensive. It's going to take me months if I played an hour or two every day just to buy that ship. Uh, and then I'm not going to go to Sagittarius A. I'm going to try to go to the far. Everyone goes to the center. I'm going to go to the fucking outer rim,
Do it.
somewhere no one's ever been.
Where the
Right?
Reavers are.
Yeah. Jesus.
You know that
But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised there's never a Firefly game made. There's a Firefly board game, but I'm surprised no one ever made like a Firefly, you know, adventure RPG game.
well, look, I'll tell you, as a sci-fi fan, um, I'll tell you why it never occurred. It's because Firefly wasn't really that good. Like
I
it was
liked it.
fun. And
I
there's this
enjoyed it.
whole like underground group of people that are like, "Oh, we're going to fight to get Firefly back on the air." It's like, why? It
It,
wasn't
wa-
great.
it was well written. It was decent.
Ah,
No, it was. It was well acted, likable characters.
look, Nathan
It was
Fillion is
more a
champ.
western than it was a Firefly,
Yep.
than it was a
Yeah,
sci-fi, I should say. It was a
you're
western in
right.
space.
They had the right idea thematically,
Yeah.
but they had the wrong every other thing,
I don't
right?
know if I agree with that.
Look, Nathan Fillion, great actor, good Canadian boy. Uh, but man, you ever seen Book of Eli?
Yep.
Do you remember how it felt so gray, desaturated?
Yep.
Firefly wasn't that, and that ruined the thematic. They had a theme going, and because everything was so fucking bright and blue and white light shiny, and nothing was dingy and dark, it didn't work.
Well, there were. Well, again, it was like they were doing a space or sci-fi themed western story. So
Mm.
when they went to these like frontier planets, things were dirty, but they were dirty in a dusty, muddy kind of way. They weren't dirty like grungy, like you're saying.
No, not even that. When you go to another planet where you have a different kind of star, You're going to have a different kind of light.
Yep.
You're going to have a different, and they never cared. They went with bright lights, blue skies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because they're filming in the deserts of fucking California. That's why.
Manipulate the
And they
film.
didn't, and quite frankly, they probably didn't have the budget to like mess with that sort of thing. So
Yeah, that you say that, except that I used fucking Windows Live Filmmaker, and I had the budget to do that with $0. Okay, that I could desaturate my own film. I can do it now. I can do it on StreamYards for free.
yeah, I don't
But
know.
they missed it. I think that is a creative, productive failure, that they missed their opportunity to make it a little bit grungier.
They
And that doesn't mean people
oh
have to be dirtier. What that means is this is a we're circling a blue giant,
mm-hmm.
which means you have blue light.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to look like Blade Runner.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to defend it and say it was the perfect sci-fi series. It was an enjoyable series that I thought was well put together. I think it failed from didn't have a solid enough ending, and I don't think the movie really
No.
tied it all together well enough.
So they got caught up in that writer's strike,
Hmm.
and they could have done more seasons. That wasn't my problem with it. My problem with it was it really wasn't as great as people seem to think it was.
No, there's been better stuff for sure.
Look, a show I really liked was one called Dark Matter. It's actually Canadian produced.
Yeah, I think I'm aware of it. I think I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. And Dark Matter, uh, it was low budget, like compared, but they leaned into the gritty low budget,
Yeah.
and the writing and the story was quite good.
There are some decent sci-fi movies coming out of Atlantis Studios. That they did things like Tech War, and they did what do you call it? Not Farscape, but Andromeda, and some of those sci-fi
Okay.
series. Some of them were okay. Most of them weren't that great, but they failed. Their problems were their budget, right? Because it's a Canadian produced show.
Right.
They're going to reuse sets from other shows. DB Searly says thumbs up Canada, heart, happy face, thumbs up.
DB, glad you made it. I'm toasted, but watch it from the beginning. We had some good moments, some good highlights, and you'll understand what the show is.
Yeah, casual as fuck, playing The Sims. Screaming about bidets not being
There's no bidets in the Sims.
Where's the bidet? You gotta have a bidet. Well, it was kind of strange because they have all these other things, and I'm like, why don't they have a bidet?
See, okay, so that's my problem with Firefly. It's probably the same thing. There's a thing that should be in there absolutely without a doubt, and it isn't. And that's like I feel about that with Firefly on all aspects. Everything you tell me about Firefly, I'm like, but it's missing a fucking bidet.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to put down your mouse because there's no bidet in Sims. Just like I'm not going to put down Firefly because they didn't get the sky right when they're going around a blue neutron star.
Except that every time that I think a thing about Firefly, I feel that same way. Yeah. That missing bidet. I feel it's like there should have been this here. There should have been that there. There should have been something.
Speaking of dissatisfying sci-fi, have you watched Obi-Wan at all?
No. Oh,
it's fucking terrible. It's absolutely awful. My wife says it's not that bad. I'm like, no, Melina, it's bad. I'm just not interested anymore.
Firefly is my sci-fi Papa John's.
You leave my Papa John's out of this. I love Papa
John's. Look, it's not bad. It's just not what everyone seems to think it is, right? It's a solid 6.5.
What, Firefly
Yeah,
or Papa John's?
both. That's what I mean.
See,
It,
I give
it's
Papa John's more credit because I'm a munja cake and I don't
it,
care
the
about,
Bucko.
the actual authenticity of the pizza.
No,
I like
no,
the
it's not
taste of it.
authenticity. It's just overall goodness.
You
And
know
yeah,
what? Here's the thing.
fire.
If Firefly is a 6.5 and Papa John's is 6.5, Obi-Wan Kenobi is Gino's Pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 3.
Yeah,
Geno's is the 3.
3. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's kind of like the same way. Like I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi when he was in, the original trilogy, and I even liked him as part of like the prequel trilogy as Ewan
He's the
McGregor.
only good part of the original
Yeah,
prequel.
yeah. And like like the Panzerotti from when I was 15 years old working at the gas station from Geno's, I do realize Geno's is an inferior product, and I wouldn't eat it today. Same goes for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's subpar. It's in my opinion, it's the worst thing that Disney has done to the Star Wars franchise.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Because they did some good shit, right? Like the Clone Wars
well,
and
that was before Disney. Clone Wars was before Disney.
was it?
Yeah, Clone Wars was before Disney. So was
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Bad Batch would have been done under Disney, but the Clone Wars was before Disney. Rebels was before Disney, I believe, and even the sequels, like the ones with Rey, they were fucking terrible. Don't get me wrong, but to take characters that are beloved by the original fans and just like turn them into like weak caricatures of what they were is really insulting and really, really dissatisfying. And that's
I'll
what I
give
think
them
they've done with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, I liked Mandalorian. I liked Book of Boba Fett just fine. Most people were kind of disappointed by Book of Boba Fett. I thought it was decent. He's a secondary character. He's not meant to be, oh my god, he's as cool as Darth Vader. The coolness around Boba Fett was the mystique of him being Boba Fett. They kind of demystified him, but it was a reasonable profile of a character that really is not that significant to the Star Wars universe.
I will say one thing about the sequel series. Han Solo remained Han Solo until he died. And it's almost like he had to die because he's too cool. He's
Yeah,
too he's too not what Disney wants of this thing. And it's like he literally fell on the sword for the franchise.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I bet you he was happy to die as well because he probably saw the script and like, you know what, like this was just a job for me back when I first had the role, but I understand the love that people have for it, and I don't want to be involved in its desecration. So yeah, kill me. It's kind of like Bill Murray when they forced him to be in the 2016 Ghostbusters. He's like, you got to kill me. I do not want to be part of this. So as long as I die in this story, I'm fine. So
You
they
know the
killed the
worst,
character.
such a terrible, stupid part was the faith we all had in it after episode 7.
I didn't
Right?
have any faith in it. I only stuck around because I'm like, well, I fucking started watching. It's like when you start reading a book and you get 4 chapters into it and you're like, all right, it's pretty crap, but I'm not going to stop reading it. I want to find out how it ends. And I should have stopped. But
I don't know. I mean, we had enough background with, you know, the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy that was not always great or good to us. And then we had this new movie that was all mystery except Han Solo. We knew Han Solo.
yeah.
And
But they even kind of fucked him up too. But they only
no,
fucked him.
no. No, I don't believe that. Han
They
Solo
really
was
did.
Han Solo through and through.
No, like, okay, but here's the thing, okay? There was a couple of things they did in the movie that really kind of bothered me about Han Solo. They kind of made him bumbling when he first runs into Rey. And wouldn't you know it, Rey sits in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and she can fly it just as good as Han Solo ever could. Han Solo asks Chewbacca at one point, "Hey, let me try that. Like, you've been with the guy for like 80 years and you've never fucking tried his bowcaster? Come on, I'm sure this must have been some situation where you used his bowcaster and now all of a sudden you're getting to use it." It
No,
just seemed a little forced.
no. See, that all stands out to me as proper Han and Chewie. Chewie tells him, "You don't touch my fucking bowcaster." All right, and Han is old now, and she's not flying it as well as he ever could. She's flying it better than he can now
Yeah.
because he's old. But he's still Han. He's still fucking trying to swindle somebody. He's still got somebody on his ass because he swindled them, right? And then, when worst comes to worst, we had this opportunity that here he is facing his son and trying to be a good father. And he knows what his son has to do his bad thing that he thinks he has to do. And we were left with this mystery. And I don't know how involved you were, but I was watching it. I loved it. I was all like, no, fucking Kylo Ren didn't touch the button. Han Solo took his son's hand and put his own hand on the button and activated the lightsaber to kill himself to save Kylo Ren from this.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
And then no, he didn't. It's all like he should have. If you were a good writer writing Han Solo, who is this scoundrel but a good man, of course he would be a good father and defend his son from this. He would protect his son from this. But they didn't do that. He didn't that wasn't what happened. And so after the first sequel film, episode 7, I was still defending it. I was still like, they're doing it right. They have to. They have every opportunity to do it right. And they didn't. You know,
No,
like
I was disappointed by the first episode, like episode 7 or whatever you want to call it, Force Awakens. And I stuck around against better judgment uh, because, well, one, my wife wanted to see it through the end. My friends wanted to see it through the end, and we're all
yeah.
Star Wars fans. We're like, yeah, Star Wars, cool.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I just think giving Kathleen Kennedy the reins over that franchise, it's almost like she deliberately wanted to destroy it for her own ideological reasons.
That crazy, what's a gender neutral term for stupid crazy loser bitch?
I don't know.
That piece of shit. Oh, that's
How
classic.
about garbage human?
Yeah, garbage human. Um, she made some claim about how, oh, it's easy with X-Men and Marvel and DC to go to the well of decades of comics and writing. There was decades of canon
Yeah, she just
that when she came in there, she declared it
it was non-canon.
non-canon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I read one of the worst written series of books, the X-Wing books. Okay, that happened immediately after Return of the Jedi. Okay, they're terrible, and they make way more sense than anything that ever happened.
Because
Admiral Thrawn with oh, what's the trilogy called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then there's the Jedi Academy
Mm-hmm.
trilogy. Jesus, there's all kinds,
Not
all
only that,
kinds.
Lucas had a script in the can. He's like, here's how I think it should be, and initially, it was supposed to be that, and then
And
he got a hold of it.
basically
It's like,
he
no,
just he just dubbed some of the authors. That is now canon.
yeah,
Good job.
yeah,
Good for
you
you.
should have, yeah,
Where I'm sorry, there was a Super Nintendo game called Shadows of the Empire. The greatest novel ever written. Not the greatest Star Wars novel. The greatest novel ever written.
that's pretty high praise, Irving.
Oh my god. What a
You you
wonderful
don't want to go
fucking
with like
book.
Count of Monte Cristo or something like that,
Right where Dash Rendar and Prince Izor just go off. Like
Yeah.
and
No, I
like
liked Shadows of the Empire. I thought it was good, and I
oh my
liked that
god.
and it. You know what? Here's the thing: in terms of stories that seemed like they could have been part of canon in the expanded universe, Shadows of the Empire was probably the closest one.
It
Things
is
like
no, 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 no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no,
Let me
no.
finish. Let me finish. Things like X-wing Academy and or X-wing Squadron or whatever, they all read like fan fiction. All the stuff with Koran Horn and stuff like that, they read like fan fiction. But Shadows of the Empire was good, and I felt like I'm reading the in between story between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
You're not wrong. But here's the fucking truth of it is that all the other things, as good or bad as they might have been, are children of Shadows of the fucking Empire.
Yeah.
Because Shadows of the Empire was fan fiction, so were all the others.
Mm-hmm.
But Shadows of the Empire was the one that got the attention of George Lucas, who said, yep, this guy, he knows what I was thinking. That's exactly what happened. And now it opened it up to all the other possibilities
Mm-hmm.
for George Lucas to say, I accept this one, I accept that one. But Shadows of the Empire was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the purest fan actually trying to do something that would fit and be real, not like I don't know. Do you read fan fictions now about how fucking Sonic is gay and loves Pikachu? Like, no, 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 no.
Chris
Somebody,
Chan, you're fucking citing Chris Chan now?
Chris Chan,
Is
yes.
he still in prison or is he out now?
Oh no, he's gone for life. I don't think he's ever getting out.
No shit, eh?
Uh, he better not.
But
Jesus.
I'm sure he'll get out on some technicality. Probably like he's mentally disturbed or
But
whatever. Yeah.
Shadows of the Empire was the one. Like, it,
Yeah. No, I agree. I liked
yeah,
a lot of the short story anthologies, like the Bounty
yes,
Hunters.
yes. Oh,
They were
Tales
great.
of the Bounty Hunters was
Tales
beautiful,
from Jabba's Palace. They were great.
but they don't exist without Shadows of the
Huh.
Empire getting that fucking praise and acclaim and the approval, the canonization
Mm-hmm.
granted by George Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
right? That that is the story. It's it's so oh my god, like I don't even know how to describe it. You're watching the story from outside that Zizor is looking at Darth Vader on bent knee in front of the Emperor while he stands outside of the holographic generator, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Who the fuck this guy? He's such a fucking indoctrinated piece of shit. Like, what a garbage person." And Dash Rendar is fighting that guy, and it's all happening behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
underneath, but it makes or breaks the events of the movies we know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magic. It's such a magical story because it's like AVP if it was executed better, right? That you can fill the gaps between Alien and Predator movies, and you can fill these gaps with Shadows of the
Have you, speaking of AVP, have you seen the trailer for Prey?
Empire. No.
Prey is the next in the Predator series. Takes place in early colonial days of America, where a young native girl wants to be a hunter and goes off to be a hunter, and then encounters some strange creature in the woods, and it's turns out it's a predator.
Look, women want to do the women empowerment thing. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
I'm
that's
happy.
fine, but I mean, like, I can already see where it's going to go. I'll watch it when it comes out. I won't go to the theater. I'll wait for it to be on Netflix or whatever. But I can already tell the story is how it's going to play out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe like, but uh but I do like AVP. The movies are all bad,
yeah.
but they do a good job of bridging the gap occasionally, and that's fine by me. Like that's enough.
And you
And
know why? You know why AVP is a thing? Because of Predator 2. The Predator 2 movie, you see,
no,
yeah, it is.
whoa,
No,
no, no,
no,
no.
yes, you see in Predator 2.
The comics predated.
No, they did not.
Yeah,
No, when was Predator 2 out? I'm gonna Google it now.
I think it's 96. Um, but yeah, no, no, no. Somebody was writing already the comics, and they just sort of insinuated because the comics weren't properly licensed that they did not have the canon effect. Um, but the movies bought the license from someone else, and so it was just sort of hidden in there.
Okay, so Predator 2 is out in 1990. I'm
Is it
looking for the first when the Dark Horse Alien versus Predator comics hit the shelves. Da, 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 da. Oh, I stand corrected. They were published in 1989. So you are correct, sir.
it's by a hair, right? But
Yeah,
like
probably by
it's a
like just a
fan
few months.
fiction, some crazy thing, and you know, like I'm generally not afraid to be proven wrong because I'd rather be right. So if you're right and I'm wrong,
You know what? It's
I'd
probably
like you to tell me so I
no,
can
no. You are
adopt your
correct. I
position.
think I think I was just remembering when I saw Predator 2 because I went to the theaters to see it. When I saw Predator 2 and I saw in the Predator's little trophy closet, there was an alien skull. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And it's after that that I started seeing the Alien versus Predator comic books. But it turns out they were out before the movie was actually released. So,
See, but they weren't super popular because they were underground. That's the same. That's the
yeah,
same
Dark
thing
Dark
about
Horse was not a
Shadows.
big Dark Horse Comics was not a big name at that point yet. I mean, they were getting there, but it weren't that big.
And look, Shadows of the Empire and the writings of other non-canonical Star Wars things weren't super popular.
No.
They for a long time.
Well, there was a reason for some of that, though. Like I remember reading I Jedi. I think that's the one where Koran Horn sort of infiltrates some.
Oh, Corran Horn was the worst written and one of the coolest characters that was ever there.
He might have been, but when I read that book, I'm like, and he meets Luke Skywalker, and whoever wrote Luke Skywalker wrote him in a way that sounded like Koran Horn wanted to blow him. And I was like, this seems really, really cheesy. Like it seems
Yeah,
like, fan
yeah.
fiction.
They that's the point, is they
Yeah.
were all fan fictions, man. They were all fanfic. And some of the fanfic was so cool, and it doesn't matter how badly they were written. What they touched on, the things, the events, and the themes they were hitting were made into canon.
I
But Shadows
yeah.
was so well written,
No,
and
I
it
really
was
enjoyed Shadows of the
yeah,
Empire. I enjoyed the game as well. I really my favorite bit of expanded universe stuff though was from Tales of the Bounty Hunters or the Bounty Hunter story.
Yes, that's my favorite.
IG-88
That's my
story.
one favorite book.
The IG-88 story was phenomenal. I'm like, this is so cool. How there
No,
was
I
all
have
these
to read
different,
it again.
there were different models of the IG series droids, and one of them, was like this super. Within seconds, it was super intelligent and knew that it was going to take over the galaxy, kind of thing. But it got stopped by another IG. It was awesome. But anyway, yeah,
No, but see,
there
but
was some
from
really well
Tales of
written
the
short
Bounty
stories,
Hunter,
and that's the thing. I think that was sort of like I like reading fiction, but I think I like short stories better, which is probably why I like, uh, you know, uh, that's probably why I like comic books and graphic novels more because they're like short stories.
right? Uh, and I remember from Tales of the Bounty Hunters that story about how Boba Fett finally gets Han Solo. Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
that sticks out in my head.
Mine
And
was
there's some,
how Boba Fett escaped, like when he was trapped in the Sarlacc.
yes, he escaped the Sarlacc pit.
But while
And
he's there, he's like telepathically linked to all the slowly dying victims of the Sarlacc.
yeah, because that's how what the Sarlacc pit is like and
Yeah,
shit.
well, because
Like,
because C-3PO says in return, he says you'll be digested slowly over 1,000 years. Uh, but the understanding being, well, yeah, but you'll be dead, right? No, actually, you're alive. He
no.
keeps you alive the entire time while he's digesting you.
Mm. That yeah, if you want to go into the biology of it, that maybe
Yeah,
somehow it's feeding you the nutrients you
yeah.
need.
So he can keep drawing on you. Yeah. It's fucking.
But yeah, but he escapes somehow, and then there's some line about how
Well,
Boba Fett
in the book, Dengar found him. In
is
the
that
book of Boba Fett, he left. He was left to his own devices.
okay. Oh,
So if that's canon, they changed it for the series.
see, but
But
what's her name?
Dengar?
No, the evil Disney lady
Oh,
in
fucking
Star Wars stories.
in Obi-Wan, or what do you mean?
No,
Oh,
the
Kathleen
real
Kennedy.
life.
Kathleen Kennedy.
She decided there's no canon,
Yeah.
so all of it has gone away.
Yeah.
But regardless, Boba Fett got out, and yeah, he tracks down an old Han Solo, and neither of them were at their tip-top shape, and it's not like a real fight anymore. But there's some point in the story that they mention Boba Fett never says two words where one will do,
Right.
and he never ever talks to himself. But in that moment, he says, "I've got you," or something like that.
Yeah.
And the end of the story is that Boba Fett gets Han Solo.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Rebels animated series?
No,
You'd like it. It's a CGI animated series. It takes place after episode 3 during the rise of the rebellion kind of thing. And it's it features young Boba Fett. It features Ezra Bridger, who's a character who, if you didn't watch Rebels, you wouldn't be familiar with. But it's considered canon in the Star Wars universe,
the new Star Wars universe.
in the Star Wars universe as we know it today. But no, it's worth watching. It's actually really, really well written. It's really good. I like it better than Clone Wars and better than the Clone Trooper Bad Batch stuff.
Weird.
It's worth watching if you get it. It's on Disney Plus. I don't know if you're subscribed to Disney Plus, but Rebels is good. It's also because it takes place in that era, which I appreciate, the Rebellion era. it resonates better with me than the old stuff, the episodes 1, 2, 3 stuff. So, but yeah, no, it's worth watching. I would give it a watch if I were you.
Oh, I'll look into it. While we're still here, we have no viewers anymore, but I'm a big fan of the show Community.
I haven't watched it. I've heard about it, but I haven't really watched. I think I caught like one episode here and there.
I love Community. It's one of the greatest things to ever hit TV. Netflix and Hulu put it up, and they pulled an episode called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Because Ken Jeong apparently wore blackface.
An Asian man wore blackface?
For 3 minutes. And that's why they pulled it. And it's so terrible. It's so stupid. Because there's a black woman character who says, "Are we just going to ignore the little hate crime?" Like they address it right away.
It's meant to be offensive.
And he's wearing such black makeup, it's almost purple. And he has a white wig and these stark, pointy ears. And
he's a drow.
I'm a drow. I'm a dark elf.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
And they said
it was blackface.
Look, they have names like Basic Introduction to Basic. The episode name is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And the whole episode, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know this motherfucker dies in the first 3 minutes. Like, right after the intro, he gets fucking murdered. He's done. He's out of the game. But they pulled it. They pulled the episode.
Insane. And so the black lady who's in the show says, basically says, "Why are you wearing blackface?" kind of thing. And he's like, "I'm a drow. I'm not black. I'm a drow."
She literally says, "Are we just going to ignore this little hate crime?" So they draw attention to it.
Yeah.
They then explain it. And if you look at him, there's no way in hell you think that he is trying to portray a black human.
So
his
stupid.
Skin is so dark, his hair is so white, his ears are so pointy. He's almost purple. And he said exactly what you said. I'm a drow. I'm a dark elf.
Ridiculous. Oh, wow.
And they pulled it. They pulled the episode. And what's terrible is that it's not only one of the best episodes, not just my favorite. It's one of my favorite because I love RPGs. But it's such a good episode because it's so funny. And it's so valuable to the storyline because it shows the development of so many characters. That's the point. That was what they were going at with making it Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
People level up.
Yeah.
So they all the main characters had to invest themselves and sacrifice of themselves to make gains and level up and become more of them. And like you remove it and so many things don't make sense anymore.
See, now that's something people should do a letter writing or email writing campaign to bring back.
I just want to fucking write that email and be like, "Dear Netflix and Hulu, you guys are stupid and gay. You're so fake. I don't even want to deal with
the fact that you have shows like Cuties and fucking Big Mouth or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And but you have a problem with Community when an episode that aired on TV years before, and nobody had an issue with it. Now all of a sudden it's offensive.
And the worst part is it's addressed immediately that the black character who is sensitive says outright, like,
Yeah.
this is the exact line, if I'm not mistaken. Are we just going to ignore this little hate crime? Like, she calls it out.
Yeah.
Right?
And then immediately gets corrected. And now, does she still have an issue with it the rest of the time, or is it like,
No, because he dies and has to leave the group,
yeah,
but it doesn't matter because she says it and he's like, no, I'm a drow.
yeah,
But he's so purple and white-haired and pointy-eared. If you think he's representing an African American, you are now crazy.
So I guess going forward, the only people who can play dark elves in D&D are African Americans, but they have to wear a white wig and pointy black ears.
Yeah, no, only also they can only be orcs. Orcs or drow. That's your choice, black people.
Uncle Jeezy says Saturday Night Live had a skit about vaudeville where they dressed as Jews and did a song called Nickels, Dimes, and Pennies. That's not offensive, no. I guess it'd be offensive if they wore, big noses and that kind of stuff. But maybe they did. I have no idea. Anyway, I think your intuition is correct. I think it's probably a good time to call it.
Oh yeah, because that was 45 minutes ago that I asked you for your final thoughts.
Yeah, it's true. And we got into a rant about Shadows of the Empire and all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, we went crazy. But
I got nothing to show currently. And if you haven't been to my channel, go to my channel on YouTube. Just look up Craig Bragg. You'll see a logo with a blue circle and my caricature face in it. And yeah, I do content. I do rants in the car essentially. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Real Crag Bragg, CraggBragg, and yeah, check out my musings there.
And we're gonna try this new thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I don't drink for a couple hours on Craig's show,
and then he does after hours.
After hours, we'll go after hours on my show and get fucking blazed, guys.
There you go. Sounds good to me. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'm gonna call it a night there, Irving. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you, and we will do it again. Hopefully, weekly. We're gonna try that, right?
Let's try do weekly. Why not? There may be some weeks where we can't because of other things in life, but
shit happens.
Yeah,
but we're gonna aim for weekly.
Right. Exactly.
And but this week we're out. Good night, guys. Thanks for coming by.
So long.
Hail Sigmar.